Previously on the Bait Boys podcast. We really appreciate you all sticking with us through the season and sticking through with us to the end. And as always, we'll see you next season.
Yeah, man, season 1 was awesome. All right, guys. See you in a few weeks. Later. Oh, thank God that's over. I'm so ready for a break.
3 hours later. Three days later.
Season 2 of the Bait Boys podcast is brought to you by 8-Bit Baits, the highest quality color-shifting pigments for bait makers by a bait maker. Welcome back to the Bait Boys podcast, where all your wildest dreams can come true, as long as your wildest dreams consist of people talking about making baits for 1 to 2 hours every other week. My name is Jesse with Freak Baits Custom Fishing Lures, and as always, I am joined by my strange yet lovable co-host, Trevor from Peak Baits and Anthony from Lazy Baits Co. Gentlemen, season 2, we did it. We're back. How do you feel?
We're back. We made it. We made it back.
Somehow,
ready.
some way.
I'm all hopped up.
All hopped up, hopped up on that white monster.
Goes the grabber.
Well, it's been too long, fellas, and I'm glad that we're back together finally after a much needed break. But we are also joined for our premiere episode of season 2 by Amanda and Jason of none other than Epic Bait Molds.
Hey,
Folks, how are you this evening?
We're great. Got our drinks ready and we're ready to rock and roll.
Heck yeah. All right. Yeah, well, thank you so much for agreeing to come on. I'm sure you're probably coming in blind, but we really appreciate you being willing to show a few lowly bait makers what it's like to be a real company. So we're gonna dig in and pick your brain a lot this evening.
Awesome.
Before we jump into that, it's our first episode of the season, so we do obviously have just a couple of quick announcements to make. As you saw at the very beginning, we have a title sponsor for the entire season, and that is your friend and mine, 8-Bit Baits. Michael, aka Bait Chuckin' from 8-Bit Baits, has generously agreed to be the title sponsor for the entirety of season 2. So we just want to give 8-Bit Baits a huge shout out. We are going to have a lot of 8-Bit Bait oriented challenges, contests, how-tos, things like that all throughout the season. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure that you are following 8-Bit Baits on Instagram and Bait Chuckin' on YouTube. And more to come on that. We've got a lot of great plans in store for our partnership, and we couldn't be more excited about it. Gentlemen, would you agree?
I am super excited. I got tons of ideas. I'm going to start doing makeup with it. I'm going to do my wife's nails and maybe use it with some baits, probably.
Why
do you keep me around?
For this reason right here. This is the exact reason that we keep you around, because we never know what you're going to say next, and it's always usually pretty funny. So we'll keep you.
Thanks.
It's fine. You can stay. Other than that, just a reminder, we are switching from the weekly format that we had in season 1 to every other week, but we will be putting up bonus content on the in-between weeks. Anthony already put up a how-to video on painting a Baja trout, so we'll leave a link to that in the description, so make sure you check that out. I've got one coming up as well Trevor will as well. So we've got a lot of just kind of how-to stuff planned. But if there's anything specific that you want to see from us that's outside of the podcast, anything that you want to see as far as hacks, tips, and tricks and go, leave it down in the comments below, and we will likely pick from those ideas for some of our bonus content this season. But that's... Am I missing anything, guys? Do you have anything?
Not that I can think of. Ooh, you got it covered. I never have to worry when you're around.
Never.
Well, I worry when you're around sometimes, but it's not a bad thing. it's because I love you. But that brings us to our next big announcement, which is we have for the first, technically the first time this season, I guess, an episode sponsor, a real, true, not made up, not Anthony in a wig episode sponsor for this episode. And that is Specialty Resin and Chemical.
Real bait makers, real materials. SpecialtyResin.com. It's no secret that quality baits start with quality materials. Consistent, reliable, built for makers. From silicone to resin, SRC has products trusted by the big boys. From clean pours to smooth finishes, SRC is what's on our bench when it matters most. Shop SRC. Link in the description.
Huge thanks to SRC for sponsoring this week's episode. If you want, we'll leave a link down in the description below where you can go shop everything that they have. We all use it. We all used it well before they became a sponsor. That's why we asked them if they wanted to sponsor, because we definitely believe in their products and rely on them daily. And if you use our code BAITBOYS at checkout, you can get 10% off of your order. So once again, thank you to Specialty Resin and Chemical. All right. I feel like I've already done a lot of talking and we're only 6 minutes in. So it's going to be I'm out of practice. I'm out of practice, but it's fine. We'll pick it up.
You're doing great.
We're greasing the wheels. And then last but not least, before we get to our wonderful guests, we're going to talk a little bit about our wonderful guests because they are the sponsor of this week's giveaway. Epic Bait Molds has been so gracious as to agree to sponsor the giveaway for this episode. Amanda, Jason, what's up for grabs this week? What can our viewers and listeners potentially win?
$300 gift card, e-gift card for anything at epicbaitmolds.com.
That is
wow,
a sweet prize.
$300 gift card to the Epic Bait Molds online store. That is crazy. Well, let's talk about how they can win this $300 gift card, e-gift card. And that is going to be a little different from what you're used to last season. This season, we're going to focus a little more on the YouTube side of things. So what we need you to do is make sure that you are subscribed to both Epic Bait Molds and the Bait Boys podcast on YouTube. And leave a comment on this video. Any comment will do, honestly. What do we want them to comment?
Say something nice about Jesse's beard.
Or anything else. Literally anything else would be fine. But make sure that you're subscribed to both channels and make sure that you leave a comment. It can be that, I guess. That's a little uncomfortable, but it's fine. Any comment will do on this episode, and we will pick a winner that will run up until the day before the next episode. Is that how we're doing it? We're going to run for right at 2 weeks, just shy of 2 weeks. And then we will pick
the next
a random winner.
Saturday before the next episode.
Saturday before the next episode, we will announce the winner on our Instagram stories, and we'll make sure that we tag Epic Bait Molds in that as well so they can see it and know who gets that gift card. Great, but thank you both for doing that.
Yes,
that's a very generous
awesome.
prize.
Yeah.
And
Yes, thank you.
I am
I'm
positive
going to leave
that
a lot of
our-
comments.
No, you are disqualified immediately. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to do the picks for our Instagram giveaways, and I've picked Trevor or Anthony because they have entered multiple times.
I get it. I would do it.
He's going to enter.
Yeah, I'm going to enter, and then I'm going to walk over and get my molds and a gift card. Just kidding, guys. I want you all, someone out there who really needs it to get it. That would be the best case scenario. Someone get into bait making or, stepping up into some new molds or whatever. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Definitely. Some nice molds to
Absolutely.
start off with.
Oh yeah.
For sure. The nicest, in my opinion. Not that I know anything about it, because let's clarify something here. I don't do soft plastics. I am too dumb to figure that out. I would end up with just a bunch of burnt plastisol and some 3rd degree burns. That's what my life would be if I tried it. But I have known about Epic Bait molds for a very, very long time, because as I've said before, I'm an unapologetic Nate Marling fanboy. Don't tell him I said that. I've never really talked to anybody. Yeah, that makes it weird. Yeah. But obviously you all have been a big part of his channel for a very, very long time. So that's how I found out about Epic Bait molds. But for our viewers and listeners, why don't you give us a little bit of background on Epic Bait molds and who you are and what you do, in case they don't know already.
Yeah, so we're Epic Bait Molds. We're a small team. It's me, her. We have a full-time machinist and a part-time machinist, and we manufacture at least in our opinion, the highest quality aluminum molds for making soft plastic baits. And we also just branched into the lead mold side of things. We want to take lead molds how they were and step them up a notch and make awesome new designs, which I think we're doing a pretty good job at. We've been doing this about 6 years. We're down here in Anderson, South Carolina right now. If you guys have been following us, anyone out there, you've seen us move around a few times. Kind of crazy, especially moving a whole machine shop. We love
3 semis.
3 semis.
And a U-Haul.
It's pretty.
Wow.
But we're here now, and we love it, and we're going to continue to grow things slow and steady, focusing on quality and always putting the customer and bait design first. I'm not just trying to throw things out to make money or to get things out there. I'm like a bait junkie. I care a lot about the action and how bait looks, how the mold looks, how the machining finishes. And that's my prior background with aerospace manufacturing. So I'm obsessed with the manufacturing side. So this is my playground out here. And what else do you want to add to that? I think what else?
Yeah, I don't know. We started out, we were not bait makers. We started out, we both loved fishing, and we actually met on the beach. He was fishing in the morning at sunrise randomly. And yeah, we were going to actually do production size molds at the beginning. That's why we ended up buying our huge machines. Our machines are pretty large for the smaller molds we do, but we ended up seeing this market of smaller bait makers that were either, had a small bait business, or they were captains, wanted to make something for their clients, or just, DIYers in the garage that had an interest in creative energy and wanted to make baits. So we kind of went that route, and it took off, and there we are.
I think that was a smart choice.
Yeah. And
the production molds seem cool, but I feel like you don't get the community like you do in the DIYers, the guy in his garage that just has a line of Epic Bait molds just shooting them different.
Totally.
That's the coolest part is designing things, selling the mold, and seeing people catch their dream fish. Or we've had people that have had depression or anxiety or things where it's a hobby, an art form that's allowed them to express themselves, to feel calm, and I don't know, it's brings people together. It seems crazy, and it brings people closer to nature, because you make something, you want to go fish it, you catch a fish on, it's 10 times cooler than if you got that same fish on, a stick bait you bought at the store. Even if it's just something that simple, because you went out of your way, took time and energy to create that thing. It's pretty cool. And it's cool because we sell globally. So we have people catching zander and the trout over in Europe, and you have triple tails and all these different species all over. And you're dude, I never even thought of 4-inch slick swim catching that. It's kind of cool to see all that.
Yeah. Really
What
cool.
about Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia? Murray cod?
Australia. Oh yeah.
Somebody got a lure from me, and he's like, yeah, I'm fishing for Murray cod. And I'm like, what is a Murray cod? And then I looked it up, and they're huge. And I'm like,
yeah,
man, I hope he catches.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool to see that stuff. The community, I'm so glad we went that way, because you're right. And I'm not saying we'll never do production molds, because we potentially could in the future. We've had some of the bigger companies that keep asking us and wanting us to do their molds. literally don't have the capacity with all the projects we have.
Not as fun either. Not as fun as designing
It's
stuff
not.
that we want to design.
Yeah.
Their design, you got to do exactly what they want. It has to function how they want, and then they're done. That's it. It's a transaction. It's not. Yeah, it's not the community.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, you know, we would never had something like the Epic Baymakers meetup we did this year, which was so cool. We had people from all over. The people from all kinds of states come. I thought it was going to be tiny. I had no idea how many people would come. We had a pretty decent showing, and hopefully we'll do that again this year. It's super cool. I'm glad we kind of veered that way because, yeah, the community part is, for me, I do all the customer service still. Every single email, every single Instagram message, every single Facebook, even if it's scammy, I usually still write back. Or people asking for stuff, I just let them know we're not taking on sponsorships right now, you know, but good luck. But anyway, yeah, community for me is my favorite part of it.
That's awesome. And yeah, Michael or Baitchuckin was talking about how awesome the meetup was.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal just to like be with the Baymakers meetup. It was surreal. It was like seeing all those people together and, you know, finally meeting. I mean, we had met a lot of, you know, the core kind of the YouTubers, you know, that we kind of work with and hang with. But some of the people was just super cool. We talked to them. I've talked to people for 6 years online, you know, and you meet them in person. It's so cool. People brought like their kids, and that's really cool too, having like, you know, parents get their kids into bait making and them loving it, not being like a family thing. It's really neat. So this year we're already planning it. Hopefully sometime, not sure exactly when. I kind of had my eyes set on May, but I may try to move it to the summer, see if more people can make it. But we're working on it, so
And
we're going to try to announce it sooner.
we'll get more notice. Because last year we kind of purposely didn't want, like, we were like, I don't know what's going to happen, but if we had like 1,000 people show up, that would not be, that would be cool, but not.
We're not having enough hot dogs.
Yeah, we would have to go get more hot dogs. But this year we want to, you know, announce it much earlier. Because when you have someone like Nate announcing it, it's like, you don't know. Because he has 800,000 followers. It's like, I don't know. People just want to see him will come, and it could be thousands of people. So we might do it at a much bigger venue this year. Last year was kind of like a special thing with, you know, smaller group, and what was it, like 20 or 30 people stayed like that.
Yeah, we rented a whole campground. That was cool. We had, you know, like about 20, 25 people stay. And then, yeah, this year, I don't know, we're working on it. I don't have all the details yet, but everyone just put it on your calendar for 2026 and your goals if you want to come. Yeah. And we'll send out details at some point.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
That sounds great.
Yes.
That sounds great. Well, you talked a little bit a second ago about the start, like how things started, but what inspired you originally to start Epic Bait Molds, and how did you get into manufacturing molds rather than just using the baits or using someone else's mold?
Yeah, so, man, what inspired us? So after we met, we were trying to do YouTube, right? We both love fishing. So before we met, I actually was a aerospace machinist. I did that for, 10 years or something. Ran a couple shops, you know, ran every kind of 5-axis, 4-axis, 3-axis mill you could think of. I loved it, but it was stressful, so I quit. And like literally went into digital marketing and media, and then we met. We did that together for a while, and then we wanted to do something for ourselves. So we started doing YouTube, and YouTube is much harder than people think to actually start creating revenue. So I fished every day for hours in San Diego, South California, targeting like spotted bay bass, halibut, sand bass, all that stuff that, you know, people want to catch there, and started making videos showing people how to catch those, like the different rigging, the different rod setups, and all that. We actually built a course, teach people how to do that, and then we never even released the course.
Oh, it's pretty good.
It was really good. I found some of the graphics.
Just release it.
Yeah, we should just like throw it out there. Yeah, here you go. Want to catch spotted bay bass? Here's the whole
it was probably hundreds of hours worth.
Oh, for sure. But that was going like, what's that? Yeah, yeah. Well, we should put it out.
I'd watch it, and I'm nowhere near a spotted bay bass, so it's fine.
But that never kind of wasn't really amounting to much. So we kept.
Well, kind of in the middle of it, what happened was we interviewed some people. We had a podcast too, and we It's called Fish Mastery. And we interviewed some companies, some people in the industry. Like we had Brian Latimer, we had one of the guys at B-Man. And then we ended up interviewing a company called BioBait, who recently got sold to Gas Pro. But they invited us after the podcast to come visit them in Colorado. And we were at this point where we're like, do we keep focusing all of our time and energy on YouTube, or is there something else we need to kind of transition to? So we took them up on it. We stopped by because we were literally moving out of California, driving to Wisconsin, sort of kind of on the way. So we stopped there, and they, at the time, were medium large. They were growing bait business, and they were showing us their molds, their production molds, and they were like, we really need more mold makers. There's not enough mold makers for these molds. And so we looked at them and we talked about it, and I was like, think you could do it? And he was like, hell yeah. And I was like, all right. So we ended up, we didn't even really think about it for long. We ended up finding a house in Alabama that was, less than $200,000 at the time, pre-COVID. Had a pole barn in the backyard. Somehow got a loan through our marketing business for a machine. I'll be forever thankful to the woman who at the bank who helped us do that. And we bought our $115,000 machine, and we Jason wired the power because we didn't have the last 10 grand to wire the power. And he's like, all right, this is either gonna turn on or I'm gonna get electrocuted. And it worked. Jason's pretty good at figuring things out. Yeah, that's the story of how we started. And then
that they pulled back on the production mold. And we were like, what are we going to do? So we started making some smaller molds, and we saw that there was a thing. Like, we didn't really know that was a thing. Like, I wasn't like, we weren't like, let's make these little molds. And we were like, oh, we can make these too. And because a lot of people were reaching out asking about custom molds. And so we started doing custom molds, and that was like into the fire, like learning by just going. And I would spend 80 hours on a $300 custom mold. It was insane. I was making like $1 an hour. I literally had like arthritis, and I had my legs were tingling because I was sitting at this we didn't have enough money to buy like a nice desk. We had this cheap, crappy desk, and I had this metal chair.
We had a chair that we bought the house from reporters, so we had to first move everything out of the shop. The pole barn. I mean, it took probably a month just every single day working to get stuff out of the pole barn. But yeah, that's why we got to get a deal on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used one of the chairs from that. We just scrapped together everything we could to start. I mean, we truly started. We were literally wrapping the molds in our guest bedroom on the bed. That was our first shipping area.
Actually used our kitchen microwave to shoot our first baits.
Yeah.
In case everyone says not to do that, we were like, we didn't know not to. We just did it.
I mean, for the longest time, we still handwrite everyone's name on the thank yous, but for the longest time, I hand wrote the entire note. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how we kind of started doing the smaller custom, and then we ended up just realizing, okay, there's still this market for these big production molds. Smaller molds are awesome and we love them. And then it allowed him too to have his own. He's a very creative person, and he has all these ideas, and it allows him to get them out, do them. If we did customs all the time, he would never be able to do that. And that's a big part of this. There's multiple reasons we do it, but that's one big part of it for him is getting his creative energy and goodness out.
I love sketching designs and making it, going and testing it out. Need to catch a fish. I just love seeing that it works the way it's intended to work. And then I like seeing everyone else catch fish.
Right. That's the most rewarding part. We've agreed on that point before. It's the most rewarding part is to see somebody else. It's cool to catch a fish on your own bait, but it's really cool to see somebody else catch a fish on your bait. That's pretty sick.
I think at first, because you probably don't have too many people fishing your baits, every single one you catch on them is the best thing in the world. But then once other people start catching stuff, then it's that's all you care about. I can go, I catch something on mine, and unless it's a PB, I don't even want to take a picture. But if I catch something on Jesse or Trevor's bait, I'm taking a video, a picture, sending it to them. It's just so much more fun when it's somebody else's bait or somebody else catches something on yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your mold making process. I'm assuming this isn't secret information because most people aren't going to have a $115 Haas CNC sitting in their garage. Most people.
Yeah.
But if there is anything proprietary, you can leave it out. But CNC machining aluminum, like your design choices, your quality control, walk us through a little bit of your process there.
Yeah, so we start with 3/4 inch thick material. I'll say what sets us apart kind of. Our molds are machined on all 6 sides, so they stack really well. They're true to size, like one half's not bigger than the other, and they're thicker. Our molds are about 0.6 inches thick, so they're over half inch thick.
Our 4-year-old needs me.
I always just say them. But most people start with half-inch material. So they already start with thinner material than our finished product, and they mill it down from there. So you get a much more like flexible, so to speak, mold. And they're usually using raw stock on the top bottom. The raw stock can vary depending on the size of the bar, up to 60 thousandths of an inch. And that's actually a problem when you're standing your molds up, because the bottoms will be longer. So it'll actually tip over and stuff. And this is like really, people tell us about this all the time. It actually happens. So anyways, we start with 3/4 inch material, and we machine them down to 0.6 inches. Some are actually a little bit thicker, like our Mega Grub is so big around, and we actually leave the mold bigger. Same with our Epic Boss we did with Marlene Bates. That's actually huge. It's actually, the mold is, I think, each side's 0.7, inches thick. So we're taking 50 thou off, and the bait is, I think, 20 or 30 thou from the wall of the mold. It's so fat. It's crazy.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we bring in 12-foot bars of material, and everything comes out of 4 different sizes of stock. Then we have an NC bandsaw, and so basically what we do is we put the bars in there. We type in the cut length and the quantity of pieces. So, usually we run 6 molds at a time, so you have 3 of 6. Say 6 pieces at 15 inches long, and a saw will auto feed and cut bars. That is awesome. When we first started,
Cool.
literally, I started with a circular saw in my hand, and I would hold the metal bar and I would saw across the line. It was so freaking sketchy. Chips would be like all over me. It was like a glitter bomb. And then we got a little, like a chop saw, like a radial arm saw, but a big one with a 14-inch blade at Harbor Freight for like $100. And that was when we started chopping with then. Then I built that to a bench, and I had a bench where I could do that, and it was great. And finally, we got this saw, but it's not cheap. It's like $30,000. But I'll tell you, I can walk over and type in my molds for the day, and it basically cuts them, and I can walk away, and then, I'll pack orders or whatever, come back, pick up the material, deburr it, and go throw it in the machine. So it's like having another person around that does the sawing for you. It's super awesome. So after we cut them, the molds go to the machines. We have 4 OST VF3 SS YTs. They're pretty big 3-axis mills. The table travel size is 40 by 22 inches, and we have 25 inches of Z, which usually is a good thing, but in our case, we only need like 2 inches of height. So it's like you've seen it come down and taking all that time. But yeah, it's great. The machines machine the first side of the mold, and then we actually flip the molds and we machine the back, and that allows us, like I said earlier, to machine all 6 sides of the mold to guarantee that they're perfectly flat, parallel to each other. Also allows us to engrave them. So let's see, like on our Epic Eternal system, it's going to be very, very shiny, but we can engrave which way is the back and belly. We can, put our logo, what the mold is, the cavity count, stuff like that on there, which is another thing that sets us apart, because not everybody, can do that out there with the way they manufacture their mold. After the 2 operations are done, actually after the first operation, which is the inside of the mold, we actually have an inspection process where we do it in machine so we can fix any issues that might occur during the machining process. So our venting is between 1.2 thousandths of an inch deep to 2.6 to 2.8 thousandths of an inch deep. If it's 3 thousandths of an inch deep, yeah, if it's 3 thousandths of an inch deep, it's bad. At least in our mind, it's bad. It might be acceptable to other people, but those we either will reskim the face, half thou, bring in tolerance, or we'll scrap the molds. Just because everything that leaves our doors is literally perfect. She's like the queen of not inspection, but visual inspection. If there's like scratches, she's like either clean up the face or scrap it. It's brutal. We've had stacks where she's like throw them, and we're like, because someone had like a chip, like a metal chip in the rag, and they're wiping them and like scuffing them, and then I'm like, no, and she's like, you gotta throw them all out. Like, remember that? Especially back in the day when we were like working on our system, it was like, I'd be like running all day and night, and she'd be like, "These all have to go."
Well, now we have 4 machines, but yeah, we would just have 1 machine, and we'd have, like 12 volts a day or whatever.
Yeah.
6 of them we had to scrap. It's pretty sad, but I just think it's just super important to us to keep the quality at the highest level
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah, we don't sell any, like some companies will sell like denting or defective molds. We don't do that. Everything goes in scrap bin. And after it's machined, it goes over to our deburr and pin station. So every single mold, someone is physically looking at the details to make sure everything's there. They're deburring any little burrs that might be there. We do a really good job of programming all of our burr removal because obviously the machine does a really good job of it, and it's not tedious on the person doing the deburring. After they deburr it, they press the 2 pins in, shut the mold. They actually rub the bottom of the mold on Scotch-Brite because there's these tiny little scuff marks that we want to just take out so it looks just perfect. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it matters to us. And then we stack them over to get heat shrink. So we used to hand wrap every single mold in paper, which you can imagine how insane. It's like Christmas, but like every day, all day. You're just sitting there wrapping these little molds.
Yeah. It's not the fun part of Christmas either.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, I like rapping, but
I used to do most of it, and it started becoming, just with the volume, it started becoming like the backup of the system because I was doing all the customer service. I was getting all the orders out. I was doing this, and then the guys were machining them, and then we couldn't get them out of the rack in time. We didn't have anywhere to put them.
Yeah.
So we found a solution, and we basically shrink wrap it now, and it's so much faster, so much more efficient. Same.
Yeah. And that's awesome too because it eliminates every now and then, like maybe, I don't know, 3-4 times over the 5 years we did the brown paper, we had mislabeled molds. So you'd wrap in paper, you can't see what the mold is, and then somebody would put the wrong sticker on all the molds. Like, okay, you have your 2.3 sleigh bait and your 2.3 prey bait. Let's say they made prey bait, but they put a sleigh bait sticker on because your brain just read it wrong, right? So now they're all mislabeled, and they're in with all the other molds in our shelf because we work off like a rolling stock system. So, I mean, literally we have like probably 1,200 molds, right? Anything. It's sitting there. Like I'm looking at it right now. There's so many molds because that's how we get our products out to the customers. I mean, we're caught up on orders as of right now. Every single order except one out. And that's because that was put in like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. We had a huge influx of orders on Black Friday, and we prepped for it. And
2 months of prep.
2 months of prep. And we actually had everything out less than a week.
Yeah. Just
and that was that armored van.
Yeah, you saw that, dude. Okay,
Yes.
this is crazy.
I was thinking, what's the suspension like on that van? Because it must be like squatting down the
so
road.
bad for the post office workers sometimes. They really. She came that night, and her tires were almost.
No, so she pulled up, she showed up, and I'm like, and we start loading molds in, like we're just going, and then I'm like, I mean, there's a lot of molds you saw, and it was like. All of a sudden, the tires were like, the rim was like this far from the ground. I was like, stop! Her tires are so flat. And I went and checked them for her. They were at 17 psi, and the front tires were so bald they were literally slick. They were like there was zero tread on them. I was like, this is insane. So I went around. We pumped up all 4 of her tires for her. And even then, they were still looking. I mean, because we put them to 50 psi, and they were still looking flat because it was probably. 2,000 pounds of molds in the back of that. Was it a Mercedes Metro or whatever? Whatever those things are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the post
Crazy,
office
man.
Anyway, that was a tangent. What were you even talking about?
We're talking about the process.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think yeah.
That's part of the process, right?
You
gotta ship them out.
Yeah. Now, shout out to the post office workers. I know people get frustrated with them, but they work so dang hard. I'd say for the most part, right? Obviously, there's always people that don't, but the ones we work with here work so hard. Like, they came and did a second round every day for us during Black Friday. She would come at like 9 p.m. and pick up the rest of the orders for us. And,
oh, wow.
I mean, that's like amazing. So, and they're driving cars like that, I don't know. But shout out to them.
Great. Okay, we'll go
glad
back
they
to where
treat
we
you well.
Yeah, all right. We go back to the
Sometimes the packages get a little thrown around. Yeah, so where are we? Heat shrink them?
After they get heat shrinked, we're talking about mislabeling. That never happens anymore. So you can see right through the heat shrink. You can see exactly what it is. And then we stock it on the shelves. And then when she goes or whoever goes to pull orders, you're just pulling from that inventory. So when we get down to 2 molds, we make 6 more molds. So it's constantly and we actually rotate it. The bottom mold doesn't sit there for 10 years. It actually gets, purposely rotated in, and that's the
Yeah, some of the more popular stuff will do like 18 or 24 molds or whatever. Yeah.
No, that's
Basically
awesome.
it. A little different process for lead molds. Tell me about that.
No, so lead mold, you can actually
Require-
see it right here. There's a machine right here, and there's a stack of handles right there. So we have a wood cutting CNC router. It's a 2x4 foot table, which is exactly the size we wanted. We could have got so many other machines, but you go back there.
Start with that handle stuff.
Oh yeah. So that machine cuts our wood handles, and that's literally all it does, and all it's probably ever going to do. It cuts wooden handles for our mold, and then we use the same process, 2 operations to machine our lead molds. So that's the blank they come out of.
Use cherry wood.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah. Oh, you got those too.
That's cool that you've worked in the CNC process for it.
Yeah. So this board will make 4 pairs of handles. Seems crazy that you get 4 out of there, but that's what it comes out of.
And then once they're used for a while, they
They darken out.
darken it.
Mm-hmm. Cherry is
Yeah.
one of my favorites, and black
Yeah.
walnut.
Yeah.
Looked
A
at
lot
black
harder.
walnut. We looked at all kinds of woods though. I mean, it took us a while to dial in what
Too
we
expensive though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and we had to get a supplier. Like, we're too big for like the online like woodworking shops, woodworking companies where you get like small batches of
We
wood.
have like 1,000. I don't know. Can you see? You can kind of see it behind it. Oh. You see all the stacks of wood here? That's
Mhm.
all like tons of board.
It was all stacked up.
It was
We
all
ended
the
up finding a huge like lumber company, and we were like, what we wanted to order, which was a lot for us, was tiny for them, and the guy like did us a favor to get it for us. So we found a supplier. Yeah, that was my thing, is just making sure that like supply chain is, we're gonna start this, but then we're not gonna be able to get the materials.
Mhm.
So anyway, so they require multiple more operations. In fact, like a whole different machine. And then we have to make hinges, which is another operation. Then we have to put the handles on the molds.
Yeah,
Another operation.
the hinges are like our secret sauce, ours, because the way we
Talk about
make them, I won't even say how, but the way we make them allows them to be so freaking precise. It's insane. Even if the mold is machined wrong, the handle hole for the hinge is absolutely perfect every single time, and it's perfect to the other side too, which is crazy.
a lot of molds, a lot of the lead molds out there, they sometimes quickly, sometimes it takes a while. They end up not like opening well
Shutting, yeah.
or shutting. And we wanted to try to have something. Well, we didn't want to put them out unless we had a solution for that.
We spent 35 molds on 35 different ways to make that hole in the hinges. It was insane. Like
Yeah.
different types of pin. We tested 4 or 5 different pins, different pin lengths, different styles of drills. Like, it just was insane. And then literally, we simplified it to the most simplest form, and it's insane. We were like, oh my God. We went all the way this way, and then we came right back to square one almost. It was insane.
Well, it's,
Really
I said
good.
that speaks a lot to why Epic Bait Molds has seen the blow up in popularity that it's seen over the years. You all obviously spend a ton of time and effort making sure that everything that goes out the door is not only functional, perfectly functional, but aesthetically perfect. It's the highest quality you're capable of producing every single time.
Yeah.
There's no like, good enough, send it out the door. So I just, that's incredible that you all have
So-
that dedication to detail. What
He's showing over there.
Trying to show them that.
Oh, that? You see it?
See it?
only the best is good enough. I like that.
I put this
I
back.
have
like
to
that.
fix the.
It's sitting on 2 end mill cases to prop it down a little more. Classic.
Yeah, I mean, truly, that's our motto that we go by. Only the best. You know what motto that is? That's Lego's motto.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm obsessed with Lego.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
We have a lot of Lego. We actually have a Lego loft.
Have you ever
There's
made
a
a
Lego
a
loft.
bait mold out of Legos?
I have not. We should do that.
We should. Yeah, people do that to make silicone molds, don't they?
They make the
Build a
box.
Lego.
Yeah,
then-
just a
yeah.
box.
But it would be crazy to make I don't even know if you could do that. I'll try to figure that out. Make
Or maybe a
two
Lego
halves.
bait? I don't know if there's any copyright infringement involved
Yeah, I
with
was
that.
gonna
But
say probably.
Well, I don't
yeah.
think you
Yeah.
could say Lego. I think you said
No.
you have to say brick, like a brick or something.
Yeah.
interlocking bricks.
Ooh, interlocking.
They should do
brick.
that.
Like he did make
With,
a Lego.
Did he make a Lego?
Yeah, he made a Lego shark.
Oh, okay then.
It's so hard to be
I remember
original.
It really is.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
I'm
like
make a Lego
soft
bait
plastic
and be
bricks.
original.
Soft plastic
Oh, yeah.
bricks. I'm telling you, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's something there. You can have that one for free.
That would be great.
I know.
I don't. It would. Well.
Lego bait. Well, I mean, dice baits. You know.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the same theory, but you can click these together and make big dice and make your own shaped soft plastic out of them.
Husky lure or
Yeah.
Oh my.
Exactly.
Floor building.
We may need to cut this part out so that nobody else steals this idea. That's great.
shoot.
I see his wheels turning. He's thinking, can I do that?
This is what will happen. You just inject it into his brain. Now, over the next like week or two, he'll all of a sudden wake up at 2 in the morning, and I'll feel his energy, and I'll literally wake up and I'll say, "You're wide awake, aren't you? You think you have an idea?" And he's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "All right, you better go to the shop." He'll like literally go to the shop at 2 in the morning and get his idea out.
Solved it. Solved the thing.
He does. He puts it in his subconscious, and then his subconscious like solves it.
Crazy.
It's very
Yeah,
relatable.
I mean,
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
you all need another product in your lineup, but it sounds like you don't really have an option with Jason's brain working overtime on new ideas. But
Yeah.
you have worms. You have really long spaghetti worms now.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That thing is cool.
You have stick baits, ice baits, the micro stuff. You've got the internally weighted swim baits, which we'll talk about here in a second. But how do you decide what you're going to do? Yeah, there's the worm.
Beast.
It's so cool.
Sorry.
Well,
How do you
Amazing
decide?
in
Like
the
what?
water.
How do you decide what you're going to do next? How do you decide what you're going to release? Like, is it
Oh
just
God! I mean,
whatever
he has flights of ideas like literally all the time. Like it's insane how many ideas he has. And when he's like doing nothing, like never, but if he like sits down and doesn't have a task, he just starts sketching. Like he'll just have like, I'll just walk in the room 20 minutes later and I'll have like 20 new veins sketched. So he always wants to do those. So like we inject his random ideas into the lineup whenever he just like literally has to get one out, and he'll explode and be done. But
Tries to keep me to a list of like the most desired or popular things. Obviously, that makes the most
our
sense.
lineup isn't even.
We don't even have like a beaver style bait. We don't even have a
We don't have tail worms.
tail worms, but
They
Yet.
might be working on
let's see.
something
One of-
over here.
yeah.
Oh, do we
Yeah.
get,
This
do
is
we get a
one
sneak
day of
peek at the
just
next?
sitting there and just drawing things. That's one day. It's like 5 minutes of drawing things.
Yeah.
I see it.
So we try to work it in. We try to also base it off. It's a little hard, like basing off what people want. We really try to take people's, requests in mind. But then sometimes we'll take them and it feels like everyone's asking, and then we'll put it out and like it won't sell that much. And we're like, okay, so like 2 people wanted it,
Yeah, out of the 20 that asked.
But it's hard to know that. But we really do try to listen to people. Kind of what's popular. Like Michael at 8-Bit was like, you guys need to make this dice bait now. So we did that at the time.
That was right before last Black Friday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was
great.
crazy.
I remember that.
And then, like if there's trends, like this big worm was like, it's on trend right now, so we try to do some of that sometimes for people that want it. But then he does have a lot of unique ideas. So we kind of have to balance the unique ideas with the Marling stuff. We try to do that,
And those I try to make sure that's all him, not me. I try to make sure he does all the design aspect, and I'll obviously we have to tweak things when we go from a sketch or wood carving to a limited mold because there's certain restrictions and stuff. But I like keeping that all original to his brain. Now I don't want mine because then you can tell the baits look different. They look like something he would design versus something I would design, which I like.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for us to like have an exact.
Well, you can't say no to that. That's
I know. The reason we haven't done a ring swim bait is because there's 2 ways to do ring swim bait. There's the way everyone tries to do it, which is where it's like sideways and it's a single port per cavity, and the tail is rounded and it doesn't inject very good. And then there's the other way, which is it's either a 3-piece mold or a 2-piece where one side is like the tail goes like up kind of up. It's hard to describe. Like the parting line of the mold actually kicks up where the tail is. So the tail can be paper thin. And that's where you get like your Kitech super fluttery tail actions because there's not a lot of mass. It's very wide, very light, but has a lot more fast flutter. That's kind of the key. The bigger the chunk of the tail, you see a lot of these swim baits that are just doing this. But I think that tight wobble is actually super beneficial a lot of times. So that doesn't fit in our current system. So we have to figure out how to fit it in the current system so we can do it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and we got to do we can't do a 3-inch. We have to do 6 or 7 sizes right out of the gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's got to be at least a little bit stressful. It's like whenever you land on a design.
Yeah.
I'm assuming people if you tried to release big to small or small to big in succession, people are probably like, you release a 3-inch. When are you going to do a 5-inch? When are you going to do a 6-inch? When are you going to do
immediately?
Or vice versa?
It's
When are you going to do a smaller one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, it's a good problem because people are excited. But yeah, then it's like, well, we'll put out a 2.2 and people are like, can you make a 2.3?
I'm like,
We're like, well, no.
Yeah.
We're
Just stretch it a few times. It'll get there.
well,
So-
and that comes back to actual design intent. So now, anytime, because we've learned this the hard way. So now, anytime I design something, I design the entire range. The entire product range is all sketched at once. That way, we know before I go into modeling how they're all going to look in series, and we don't hit a weird point where we're like, oh, this doesn't work with a 7-inch bait, or it needs to be thicker, or whatever. That way it's done. So then when you go to design them, you know exactly what you're making. You're not like, I don't know how big this should be, and you're trying to match it. It's just there. It's all because you're not just scaling the thing. You're literally starting from the beginning of modeling all the way over. You're redefining all the sketches. And
I think some people think it's like a click of a button and you just make it smaller and you just machine it. But it literally takes him the same amount of time. Like maybe a little bit faster because he has done the first one, but it basically takes almost the same amount of time for him to design any other size of a certain.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop. It's not just making the model; it's actually telling the CNC machines what to do. People don't maybe realize is that every single tool that machine grabs, I'm telling it to grab that tool. I'm telling it how fast to spin it, how fast to feed it, how fast to feed on a ramp versus a plunge versus a straight cut. And there's a million variables there. How deep the cut, how much step over is, how much material we're roughing and leaving for the finishing tools. It's just a lot of stuff. So there may be our lead molds with Adam. They're 100 and some operations, 100 some different things I open up with probably 50 things you select in each one just to get that mold to machine that way. And that's because we're not, there's no corners cut. A lot of people, if they're cutting a channel for a hook, they'll just go down it with an end mill. That works, but it leaves a dull, crappy finish on one side because you're actually rubbing on the back cut. So what we do is we go down, we come back, clean up both sides. So it's actually 3 passes instead of 1. And that gives you super consistent sizing, super mirror finishes. So everything just looks good, it fits good. That's kind of what has set, our lead molds at least are in a lot of our other molds too. It's the details, man. You can't be slamming stuff together and sending out the door. It's about, we care. I don't know. I care a lot about it. I want every bait, every mold to be, highest quality they can be. Otherwise, we don't want to release it. I don't know. Fully functional. Yeah. With venting, the 3-inch prey bait, we did 15 molds to get the venting figured out. And I thought that was going to be a cakewalk. I was like, it's easy. We throw some vents on it. Boom. It was insane. We had bubbles in the nose, and we moved the vents around and changed. It was insane. It was so many molds. And I was back probably, 10 months into the company, and I was so stressed out. I was like, I don't even want to do this mold anymore. But it's an awesome bait. That bait's a killer, a 3-inch prey bait.
Hey, you're burning through a lot of aluminum at that point.
It gets expensive, but it's worth it. Getting it right.
We're to the point where if you really don't have to scrap that many in R&D for the lead molds, that was a brand new product line, and the hinges were. But it's so important because they're gonna live forever. Hopefully, right? They're gonna.
Someone's gonna resell it to someone else, and you don't want the hinge to wear out, and the mold to be wonky, because then they're gonna be like, these bolts for Epic suck, and it's no, even though it's 10 years old, it needs to work as good as it does on day one. And that's what's crazy is how do you even know, right? Do the absolute best you can and don't cut the corners. And that's how you know. Like you
hope. I mean, we hope in 10 years that they'll still function really well. But we know that we put out the best product that we possibly could make.
That's awesome. Anthony, you had a question that you were going to ask earlier.
Oh, I did. No.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on. It's coming back to me. Oh, so like how you were saying about people requesting designs. And I think we've talked about this before. I think like something you want to do is going to be a better product than what other people are requesting you do because you're passionate about it. And in that, you're going to put out something better. So like people, it's going to be more attractive to people. You know what I mean? Like, if it just because so many people are asking for something doesn't mean it's going to be the best thing. Now you're just doing it because you have to. Not saying you specifically, but like that's kind of how my brain works sometimes. It's like, I don't really want to do this. So like, I don't know why am I doing this? Just cause like,
yeah.
I feel like with brains like that, you kind of just have to like let your passion roll, and in the end, you know something good is going to come of it because you're so obsessed and passionate about it.
Yeah, that's what makes doing custom molds with someone difficult sometimes is that they have a vision, you're understanding what they're trying to do, then I come up with my vision of what their vision is, and it doesn't match. And then you're like, but this should go this way because it's going to function better. And they're like, no, but I want it to look like this. And I'm like, I know, but it can't look like that and do this.
With mold design, with bait design and molds, difficult sometimes to translate the understanding of what can be done and what can't be done and what can kind of be done, but like won't work that well. And like with bait, that's why it works so well with Jason and bait is because he understands those limitations. Like from the beginning, they worked together and he like learned it as we did the first few designs. And now, Jason will tell him like the tail, whatever won't work with it, and he'll redesign it for him. And it just flows well. And yeah, it's hard to like explain that to people.
I feel like I don't know anything about the machining like career or anything, but I've watched enough YouTube and seen like the guy designing the stuff sends it to the guy in the machine shop, and then he's like cursing out the designer because he's like, this can't be done. What was he thinking? Like, I feel like that's a legit thing. Like somebody's like, I want my tail to look like a spoon, and you're like, well then I need like a 5-axis machine, and you're gonna have to like spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. So just deal with the fact that it can only be straight. And like, you know that because you know how the machine works, but I don't know. It's hard to expect other people to know that kind of, because they don't know everything you know.
I think that's like a superpower that Jason has is that he learned machining and became an expert at machining, and then he learned design. He became an expert in design, and you don't really have them married a lot. Usually you either do one or the other, like you said, and they all like get mad at each other. But he really truly has become an expert at both of those. So for him, it makes it easier, I think. And I just think it makes a really epic product.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
No pun intended or pun intended?
No pun intended. Pun intended.
That's awesome. Well, I know that we alluded a little earlier to this internal system for weighted swim baits. Do you mind to walk us through how that works and why you developed it in the first place?
Yeah, so I got this one. It's a little chewed on.
The molds?
I have the molds. Let me show.
I love the logo with the sprue filling up the letters.
It's super cool.
This is literally like, I don't know, 100 of those internal swim made. Okay, so the internal system, Epic internal system, is basically a 2-part mold system that allows you to make a, so to speak, jig head. It's a hook or a wire form covered in lead like that. And then that goes into the second mold. It's held in place, and you shoot a soft plastic body over it. So you come out with something like this. So you can see here, there's actually a weight inside of the head there. And the reason we wanted to develop that is just an idea I've had for forever. And it allows you to have you can see how small the bait is. That's 3.4 inches from nose to tip of the tail. And that is a massive hook. I mean, the hookup ratio on this thing is insane. It allows you to hide all the weight inside the bait. And you see a lot of these in saltwater fishing, maybe becoming a little more popular in freshwater, but it just allows for a smaller profile. Yeah,
Well, was this
that's
from
the
our
one.
striper trip to
No,
Cali?
that one landed like a 30-pound body.
Jeez.
Wow.
And like a bunch more too.
Yeah.
Like it's still connected.
Still on,
And
yeah.
we caught
I
like
mean,
a
it's beat
ton.
up. I won't lie. I mean, it's like Hager.
We brought it to
Looks good. Pretty good for catching a 30-pound mite.
Dude, yeah. And it's on 30-pound line. It was insane. That was over off of Outer Banks.
we took it to the Outer Banks, we tested it there, and we took it to Cali, we tested on striper, and they held up super good. We just kept catching them and catching them. It was super fun.
I love that bait. So we want to do a whole line of that stuff and keep going with it. We also want to do things that have wire forms, like bigger swim baits, wire forms, light to hang, treble hooks off the belly and stuff like that. But I'll show you guys the 2-part mold system. So you have the first piece in this equation is your lead mold. And so you're putting your hooks into these cavities, and it tells you exactly the weights you're going to be making. And on the front, it tells you like what hooks to use and all that jazz. But anyways, you put them in there, shut the mold, and then you pour your lead in these ports. And when you're done, you're left with a bunch of different sizes of this actual lead jig head. This design, it's this mold, and it actually hooks in there. So if you put the eye where the eye goes, it actually hooks in there, which is insane, that feature, because then it holds it in place until you close the mold. Because if you didn't have a feature to hold it in place, it would literally fall, and the hook would never sit where it was supposed to be. So we added a little screw. Basically, the screw head is what's catching the hook, and it's placed in the exact correct position. So the hook hooks under it, and you can put all 4 of them in there. Then you can shut your mold. You know they're perfectly centered, and then you inject. The reason we went with this split cord design, there's two runners on there, is because if you're shooting straight from the top, you have the plastic coming around. I'll work with jig head now. Oh, it's in there. Look at that. It's in there. I left it in there. Gosh. You have your plastic coming straight down the jig head and then having to go around it, possibly trapping air behind it, and then causing denting issues. So we went around the jig head, or the majority of it, and you're injecting around the sides. That allows 2 colors to kind of wrap around and from below, and then kind of fill up and down. And because it fills up and down, we actually have a hole here, and the air coming up goes through the hole and out the back of the mold. On the back of the mold, there's a channel to relieve that air. You can show, for the channel. So that's what that is, it's a little air channel. And so that was to try to solve the issue with denting. Still getting we wanted to have a really good nose profile, so there's not like a sprue you're tearing off there. It's actually like the nose profile we wanted. And it allows you to hold pressure and to minimize denting. It is a little more of a tricky mold to shoot just because it is more advanced of a technique. You gotta shoot it cooler, hold pressure for 3-4 seconds on each cavity. But I mean, you can come out with some pretty killer looking baits. And that goes, what is that? Up to ½ ounce all the way down to 1/8 ounce. We've experimented with all the way. I have done 1.5 ounces into one of these, which is insane. You can fish it deep. You can bomb it out. Like if you're fishing in the ocean or the surf, it is pretty cool, but that one specifically has denting issues in the back of the tail. So until we figure that out, obviously we're not going to release that. But I love that bait. It's really cool. And then we have a curly tail version. Do you have that one? That our son designed. So he took the original and he wanted to do a tail that's a curly tail. So he came up with that tail, which he calls spin swim. And it works really well, like super well, because it has a totally different action. It's not like a thumping, kicking action. It's just like a vibrating type of action. He is always out here designing stuff. I'll show you guys this. This is the design he came up with yesterday. So he draws it. Yeah, then I'll help him draw like the other views of it. Like he wanted like a shark type profile and a treble hook off the tail. And so it's cool because we get to involve him. He's 6, but we get to involve him out here in designing stuff. And he was so excited to have something that he sketched out, a modification, actually come to life. So it makes that mold like kind of extra special.
That's really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, I bet he was
awesome.
stoked.
Oh yeah. He loves it. He fished. I caught my biggest fish out here. It's for 6.5 pounds, but I mean, for me, that's on a largemouth bass. That's pretty big for. I bass fish, but I do a lot of like crappie and bluegill and stuff like that too. But I was stoked when I caught that fish on his bait. It's like,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a proud dad moment right there.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Those molds, that whole system, I feel like as a like somebody getting into maybe selling soft plastic baits, like you're stepping it up a notch. Like when you're posting those pictures of an already rigged like handful of, you know, pre-rigged soft plastics, like as a small business, you're offering something like way above what most people are, which is really cool.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So,
they're
get 'em while you
durable.
can.
People wonder about durability of this coming off. I mean, you saw this thing. So you can actually, what's it called? Bond coat?
Yeah.
From Lure Works. You can paint the lead. So after you make your lead, you can actually paint it with a little bit super quick. Dip in the Bond coat, paint it. And then when you shoot your plastic onto it, it actually glues onto the lead. You have to scrape that off with like a knife. Like it won't come off there. So if you don't do it, you can, you know, it's still kind of tough, but you can still, you can pull the body off there, there's two sides to it. If you're fishing your own stuff and you're remaking it, you can pull these off the jig head if you don't use bond coat, bring them home and recoat it, re-inject the bait over, which is super cool. Because then you can just save your jig head, reuse them. But if you're using the bond coat, you can still reuse them. We have to like scrape the plastic all off because it's like, I was like blown away how well it adheres. It literally like bonds it to the lead. I don't know, it's crazy to me. And it keeps it from oxidizing, changing into like that white crusty look that you get inside of some baits that are store-bought.
I feel like it's not going to rip through. Like, say you take a Kitech and put a jig head, a swim jig through it. You get like 2 or 3 fish, and now it's just loose on there, and like you don't have that same effect because you have a whole body that it's encapsulating, not just one hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different, the setup. But I'm stoked
really
to make
neat idea.
Yeah, I'm stoked to make more of that stuff. I mean, there's a million ideas. It's like, what do I want to make versus, there's all the classics we still got to get out there, our versions of it. It's just, I don't know. But we want to do a lot more of this stuff.
And the Lego bait, don't forget that one.
Lego bait, for sure. Little Lego weight there, let it weight.
I know, I gotta write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
have
it's
a
on the list.
whole interlocking brick lineup.
Yes.
Brick-
I'll
brick
comment on every Instagram post you make. Lego bait. Lego bait.
Brick-
Lego bait.
Brick
Win
bait.
Lego bait.
Yeah. I'll leave out Lego. It'll just be brick.
Yeah.
Brick bait.
Yeah.
Win brick bait. All right. Well, let's take just a short break to introduce a brand new segment here on the Bait Boys podcast. You're getting all kinds of firsts in this episode. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I know I am. This segment, we've partnered with somebody who actually takes the time to go fishing. They actually take the time to go fishing, from what I understand, pretty much every day. And that is a previous guest on the Bait Boys podcast, Jovan from The Real Bass Pursuit. And Jovan is going to give you his TRBP pick of the week.
What's going on, guys? Jovan here with The Real Bass Pursuit, and welcome to the RBP's Pick of the Week. Every segment, I'm gonna break down either a bait or a technique that has been producing for me and explain why it works. The best thing about all this is, you guys are gonna be hearing it first on the Bait Boys podcast. This week's pick is the jerkbait. Now, the jerkbait has been extremely effective in post-rain, low light, and cold water conditions. After a storm, fish tend to suspend and hesitate. This bait shines because it stays in the strike zone and it gives them that time to react. Now, the biggest key when fishing the jerkbait has been that pause. I'm keeping the cadence simple. 2 twitches, pause. 2 twitches, pause. That pause is where everything happens. In cold water, most bites aren't aggressive. It's usually just pressure on the line. Another important detail is gonna be that depth control. You don't have to crank this bait all the way down to the bottom. By cranking less, you can work it higher in the water column and keep it in front of those suspended fish. That adjustment alone makes a huge difference. And what makes this bait so special is that it has the ability to stir up activity when the water feels dead. When that water is cold and dirty, it's gonna slow those bass down. But this presentation right here is gonna pull reactions without forcing them to chase. Once again, my name was Jovan with The Real Bass Pursuit, and this was your RBP Pick of the Week. Now back to the Bait Boys podcast.
And I wish I was that cool.
Hey, yeah, I just want to go fishing now, man.
Yeah, right.
I know. Yeah.
Dude.
Well, so yeah, jerk baits. How does everybody feel about jerk baits? I honestly don't fish with them that much, but I think I might now that I've seen that.
I love
like
them,
it.
especially in the cold.
Yeah.
That
What do you think?
pause.
Trip.
I remember we went out with Jacob Wall. We went out with Jacob Wall in Gunnersville, and we caught 140 bass in like 4 hours. Three people? 3 of us? 4 of us. It was insane. It was like all on jerk baits. Everything was on jerk baits.
Yep. Trev, how do you feel about a jerk bait?
I'm a fan of a jerk bait. I think they're effective when used correctly. You don't even have to use them correctly, I don't think, to be honest.
Good.
Because
That's good news for me.
I use it a little different than Jovan does. Like, I'll cast it and then burn it back, a significant amount and then stop it. And then I'll start the twitching, but I'll burn it back from the time it hits the water every time. And if it's not hit as soon as it hits the water, it'll get hit on the pause.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Oh.
Now that you mention that, that's what I do also. I get real erratic at first and then slow. Hoping that
So
they
crazy.
come in, I feel like. Definitely the pause. The pause is where it's at. You get pause, take your phone out, text somebody.
It is.
Always.
Then all of a sudden you feel your line. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I like
When
it.
we did a bunch of fishing for halibut in San Diego, that was one of the things I realized through all my GoPro footage that most of my catches, she would text me and I'd pull out my phone and put my rod up here and I'd be like, oh, in the middle. And I fished a lot of jerk baits because, you can, a lot of times you're fishing like shallow flat areas. So you're just like rolling it along the weed lines and stuff. If you're just rolling it, burning it, they don't have time. But if you stop, they can swim up and just smash it. It's crazy. I love that.
I'm gonna have to fish with the jerk bait a little bit more. Jovan convinced me, but
Yeah.
that was your TRBP pick of the week. Thank you, Jovan, for joining us for this new segment that we will be showing regularly. Probably not. I don't know if we're doing every episode or every other or just every once in a while, but either way. And Jovan, if you're watching this, I just have one note on that. I'm gonna need you to dumb down your editing a little bit so that it fits in better with mine. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
That was good. It was really good.
He's very, very good at that. And he's pretty good at catching fish too. So thank you, Jovan. Make sure you're following The Real Bass Pursuit on Instagram and YouTube. We'll leave links down below. All right, back to our guests here. We got a few more questions for you here.
Right.
And my next question here is for DIY bait makers or smaller shops. What would you say is the biggest advantage and challenges of using premium molds like yours?
So, there's no real disadvantage I can think of. I mean, with our molds, everything's tested. So when you're buying an Epic mold, it's going to shoot right. If not, we can get you shooting it right. We also put out a whole YouTube course to help you guys shoot our molds better. And that's an hour and something long if you watch all the videos.
Yeah, it's compiled into one big long video, and then we have them separated out into different segments too.
But yeah.
Much like smaller bite-sized videos.
And so, like a lot of people, I mean, I'll say our molds are premium, but I won't necessarily say the price is that much more than, if at all. Actually, I've seen some of our competitors' molds that are more expensive for the same or less amount of cavities, such as like our lizard mold and some other ones. So they're not actually more expensive. People just view them as more expensive because they're nicer.
Well, they're more expensive than I would say what entry level is
True. Okay.
For sure more expensive.
Well, okay, I'm comparing a kind of our similar level, I guess. But if you're looking at like dual molds and stuff, and if you actually price it out by the cavity, like you spend $60 to $100 or $80 on a single or a double cavity dual mold, you're getting a sand casted thing that's very low tolerance, it has venting, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't inject properly. I've seen a lot of molds out there that don't. They literally don't shoot at all. It's insane. Like when I go to Dave's house and Nick and Nate would show me these molds, I'm like, you literally can't get good baits. Like we can't. We literally can't get good baits out of some of these molds. But you have that level. But if you take it by the cavity count, and let's say it's a single cavity at $60, and we're selling a 6 cavity for whatever $240, it's actually like less expensive per bait to make them. Now, if you're just starting out, dual molds is probably a great option to get your feet wet, to get into it. But when you want to be able to make consistently good baits that shoot well, have good action, are tried and tested, you can't go wrong, I don't think, with Epic stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We'll leave links to the course that they're talking about in the
Awesome.
description below. I've watched a few of the shorter videos, and I would say even I'm not a soft plastic guy, but it's still definitely worth the watch. And especially if you do soft plastics or you're thinking about doing soft plastics, it's a great resource. I can already tell.
Yeah, there's so many things you learn over the years of doing it. Not even for me over the years. It's like talking to all these people, like Adam, Michael.
They're
Yeah.
collective learning.
Yeah. We're able to put all that into kind of one place where you can take all the tips and tricks to get better baits, even out of other people's molds too. You don't have to just have our molds to watch it. It applies to everything across the board.
Absolutely. What were you gonna say, Anthony?
You've got
Like sometimes it's worth it though to, if you're going to invest in something like a hobby or even a business, it's worth investing in something that's going to function properly, so you're not getting frustrated and discouraged.
yes,
Like
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to shoot a mold and all your baits come out, you actually have baits, buy Epic.
If you're picky like that, yeah. If you
If you want
you
your
actually
product
wanna
to
make
work
baits.
good.
Well, and if you also if you look at just the shapes of some of the other baits I've seen out there, other molds, it's like the tool pathing is kind of weird. And maybe that's your style, tool pathing, but if you like tool pathing that's kind of hidden inside the bait's design, that's kind of our specialties. Like our prey bait scaling and our nugget and slouch, all the scaling patterns we do are not just your classic that's like a parallel tool path. It's super easy. Ours are actually all different types of curves being machined into there. So they're very unique looking. If you're selling baits, I can give you the edge because obviously you're catching the angler and the fish. They do both. Or if you just like to make stuff that looks super good, like we do.
Well, yeah, and I think like something to note, and if you start out with some molds and you start selling them, and you're getting frustrated, and you're growing, and you're trying to make volume, and you can't, and you're like, I'm going to switch to Epic now. Well, the designs are going to be different. So if you're selling something and it's going well, and then you feel like you can't increase the volume because of the quality of the molds, and you want to change the quality of the mold, you just have to consider that. So like starting out, investing in Epic molds and the designs, then you can continue to sell, and as you grow, you can continue to come back and get more molds, So we just had some customers recently that have started out using lesser expensive molds or different molds. Then they come to us and they're like, I'm literally replacing all my molds with Epic mold. That's an even higher cost, right? Because now you're like having to get rid of these and you're changing out your lineup. And so, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that I think you should go with Epic, but
Talk about the customer service.
customer service.
Dang good.
top tier customer service
Yeah.
for sure. Well, it's the whole concept of buy once, cry once, right? Like, yeah, maybe a little more expensive
Right.
in a startup cost, but in the long run, it's going to save you money because you're buying something that's quality, that's going to last, that's going to spit out a good product every single time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've fallen victim to like, I'm going to buy the cheap thing
Yeah.
because that should be good enough. And then a few weeks later, the $100 I may have spent on the cheap thing, I'm spending $300 on the good thing. And so
Right.
instead of just spending the $300, I've spent $400. So it's
Yeah.
the same concept. I would encourage everybody out there, like if you can swing it, go for the higher quality product every single time, especially when it comes to running your own business or making a product.
Yeah.
It'll make your life easier, and in the long run, you will not regret it. But speaking of DIYers and small, DIY bait makers and small, what am I trying to say here? I should probably look at my notes. That would probably help. How do you see the custom bait community evolving? Like, do you see more DIYers, or do you see more small shops, or where do you think that Epic fits into that whole story?
It's a big mix of small, people selling, small like bait companies, and a lot of DIYers. We have had a lot more first-time customers, which over the last 3-4 months, which tells me that possibly it's either just the brand awareness or the bait making industry is growing as a whole, which, I mean, I think that's awesome. If it is, that's kind of a goal, is to, take bait making out of the hands of huge companies and put it into the hands of the people. Because, I mean, I don't know, being connected to the person that made it or making it yourself, it's just so much more fulfilling, so to speak. What do you think? Is it?
It's a mix. Yeah, I think it's all growing. I think a lot more people want to start bait businesses. Some of the people that started, when we started, they started using our molds, are growing bigger and getting into bigger stores and growing. And then more DIYers, think of how many people fish and how,
Great.
before we started this business, we actually didn't even know people made their own baits yet. And that's 6.5 years ago.
Yeah.
We fished all the time. We didn't even know you could make baits. So think about all those people that, have creative side and would learn that they could do this, and they're like, oh my God. And for some people, depending on what you're doing, you can save money, right? I mean, you can if you really try. I know you end up getting down a rabbit hole, and most people don't. But, if you're baking them for your buddies or, local tackle shop or whatever, you can make a little bit of money to pay for your hobby, so to speak. I don't know. I think it's all growing for sure. Experienced more and more customers over the years, and this year again. So yeah, it's exciting. I think it's cool. I think we'd like to try to reach more of the fishermen who just have no idea that it exists, because it's so cool. People are like, oh my God, you could do that. And so many people, when we tell them oh, what do you do for work? We're like, oh, we make bolts for fishing lures. And they're like, what? You show them lures? And they're like,
no, not lures.
Yeah, we don't sell the baits. We sell the molds, and our customers make the baits. And it's just really cool because it's such a niche industry still, right? For us, it's our whole world, but it's so I don't think it's well known at all to the greater fishing community. So I think it's cool I think it's happening though. I think it's growing. We go to ICAST every year. We try to make our small, bring our community there, and yeah, just try to be a bigger part of the fishing industry, little by little. I think it'll happen over time, not forced. We're all making cool stuff for our community. We're sharing, we're growing. All ships rise with the tide, and yeah.
Yeah, and we're always looking at, I'm obsessed with CNC machines. It's like my toys, so to speak. So we're always looking at new techniques for, yeah. I can't just go. Oh, it's like a Lego set. I can't get one.
So I think we should get another machine. I'm like, okay, how much is that one? 60.
With a lot of zeros after it.
But I think part of the evolution too of the bait making industry is people are looking for and what I think is cool is we can kind of stay the spaghetti worm. We can kind of try to in the hover baits and stuff. We can try to stay trendy and with the latest things. Not only can we compete in that area and allow people to have that stuff instead of one company designing something and that's it, we can allow lots of people to have access to those newer techniques and designs. And then also one of my goals is to compete in design stuff. It seems like a lot of our cutting edge stuff is all this JDM stuff, but it's why don't we design some really cutting edge stuff here? And that's kind of what we're trying to do. It is harder than it seems because you have to think of things kind of backwards with these weird techniques. And there's some weird JDM baits out there, and I'm I don't understand it. But
I think Trev is the JDM sensei here.
yeah,
No,
You get packages from Japan. Do you,
I
Jesse?
can't read them, but they fish.
I can't read them.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know that I've ever bought a JDM bait. I don't buy many baits. I make my own now, so
Yeah.
it's right, and it's
got-
so
you
much
got no
cheaper to
money
make your
left.
own than it is. Yeah, yeah. We always joke about we thought it would be cheaper to
Yeah.
make our
Yeah,
own
then
baits, and then
You
now
got to
look at us.
buy
Well,
thousands of hooks, and then
Yeah.
you're that's $800 in hooks right in these drawers here. It's
But
good
it's so
Lord.
much more fun.
It is.
But yeah, he
is.
still buys every bait like he sees.
If I see a bait that we don't own in this shop, like I don't care who makes it or where it is, I buy it because I have to have it. Like literally, I have like these guys are newer. I got this thing is Ron's over on the coast. I got lipped jig heads. Like I'm like looking at all the stuff, trying to think of the next thing, trying to stay with the trends.
Yeah.
But that's what's crazy is not all the trends are like the things that sell. So it's hard to like. You want to do all this cool stuff, but it's like everybody still wants a 5-inch stick bait. Everybody still uses finesse worms. They use a 5-inch jerk bait. It's it's the classics that act. They all catch fish.
Crappie Slayer.
2-inch crappie slayer that's a beast.
It's a bestseller.
Yeah, it's a bestseller. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I do love me a good crappie bait, but maybe I'll have to get into soft plastics. No, it's not happening. It's no offense to anybody that does soft plastics. Please don't take any offense to it. It's not because I think I'm above it. It's because I think I'm below it. I don't think I'm smart enough. So that's not going to stay in my future, but I sure do like watching it happen.
What if we sent you a mold? Would you be able to resist that?
Oh my God.
No, he would.
You
He
just
would
put it
use
in your
it.
shop. Just put it in your shop and look at it. And
Send it in Plastisol, Pyrex cup, and open for a microwave. Like put it all in the microwave and send it to you. It just says the cords on the outside of the box is plug into wall and open box.
Just plug and play. Yeah.
Dude, that
Plug
could
and-
be a thing.
you bait makers
Right,
kit.
okay.
I was gonna say that before. Like, you should. What if you sold a kit? But in my mind, it was like a mold and some plastisol. It didn't include the microwave. But I think
Yeah.
that's way better to include the microwave. Just everything comes in the microwave. That's genius.
Yeah, it's perfect. Just yeah. We'll call China tomorrow.
This
So we could get microwaves for
You had supply chain issues on wood. Now you're gonna have it on microwaves.
right. Yeah. Where's the best place to source microwaves?
Oh my gosh.
yeah, the complete epic bait makers kit. That's
Yeah.
Like,
I might
that
try
would
it
be
in
the
that
complete
instance.
kit.
That'd be insane.
Man, we're coming up with all
Yeah.
kinds of great ideas on this episode.
I know.
Hopefully
Great.
nobody
Have
out
to
there
have some-
steals them.
We need some good shipping techniques for that.
That's
You
gonna be
just
the next
send a
thing on the-
microwave.
That's going to be the next thing on the JDM market is complete kits, including the microwave.
I
Just
know.
watch. Somebody's going to snag it.
I
Better get
know.
on it.
Dude.
Like a mini
That's
microwave.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah. Anywho, so is there anything upcoming, any upcoming designs or innovations that you feel like sharing that you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, I got several I can't share, and I have one, right?
Yeah.
One that we can share. That's behind us. Actually, this stack of molds here. Two of them, turn around. Two of them are familiar faces. I'll help you read it. The 3.2 and the 4.2 tactical shads.
Mm-hmm.
This is the entire family of tactical shads because we started somewhere. We started in the middle, the most popular, and everyone asked for a bigger, and everyone asked for smaller. So we got at 5.2 here. This thing's a beast.
Oh.
It's pretty big. And I'll shoot it today, so there's plastic on them. Clean it off. There you go. 5.2, and then we decided on the smaller sizes, so we made 3 of them smaller than 3.2. So from 3.2, we stepped down to 2.7 inches. And I love small baits, so I'm like, yes, now I have so many small baits. And we went down from 2.7 to 2.2. And then from the 2.2, we went to our tiniest guy, which is a 1.7. It is so small. And it looks so good. So I have a few of them. I'll pull some out. Yeah, like here's the 1.7. It's the same body shape, profile, and everything. It's dual laminates, triple laminates. Here's the 2.2. It's like a gold, or not gold, a silver flake, clear belly with a red back. Actually, our son Finn picked that out. But look at this difference, man. This is back to the 1.7, and here's the 5.2. It's crazy. It's a
The
beast.
other one's so
That is-
cute.
It's
Yeah.
just a little guy. I bet the panfish. Panfish?
Panfish.
Yeah, sorry. This is something I run into every episode. I can't say words at one point, but I bet the panfish.
I
Love
like that. Yeah.
I'm looking at this like, man, I want to rig this thing up.
He's gonna go to the lake right now.
I'm like ready to cast
He's
it.
right.
It's like, forget this podcast. I'm going fishing.
Yeah. If I had like a little pond out back, but like, look
He
at that.
doesn't stop. He doesn't stop moving or doing.
That looks so good. A little jig head on there. That's like, this
Oh,
is
this
what
is
I would
nice.
throw like everywhere. 4-pound line. Man. Oh, I love it. I made this jig head, by the way. I was so stoked. We haven't released this, but we made our own little, for personal use testing, little crappie jigs and stuff. Just to test them out. That's also someday. But yeah, so we have those 4 sizes coming. Then we have some other things with
Yeah, some other things.
involving
We don't.
involving Adam coming out here soon too,
Okay.
which would be pretty.
Some people might be able to distinguish what that is, but yeah, we're working on something pretty awesome that
Changing everything.
yeah, people are gonna. They've wanted it. Let's just say 20 years.
20 years.
20 years or
I'm
so.
intrigued.
Oh.
So yeah,
Well, technically, it's already kind of out.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
think about it.
come on, I want to talk
No
about
pressure.
it.
No pressure. If you don't want, if it's not the time,
You
we'll
guys,
just have to have you come
you
back.
guys
We'll
will
have to have you come
see.
back.
Yeah, hopefully,
We'll see.
hopefully, like in the early new year, we'll be putting that out. We're just waiting on some. It is a lead bowl, so we're working with Barlow's Tackle to get all the components. And they're getting them all stocked up because we think people are gonna like
I
it.
think it's gonna be like crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
the new year from this episode airing is only like 9 days. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
or
well-
10. Like, I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So-
people. Most people are going to watch it a few weeks later anyway. So
Didn't you
Yeah.
just say
it's,
no pressure?
Yeah. I
listen,
did.
we
I'm
gotta
sorry.
let Adam have the glory of
That's fair.
also
respectful.
sharing because it's a collab with him. But the tactical shads are right now they're not available. When this episode airs, they may or may not be available. We're gonna put them out soon in the next like 2 weeks or so. Those will be out. We're working on getting some stock built up on those.
Yep. And all the you gotta after you make it on the site, all the photos, photo editing, descriptions. I'll link everything. So we're
Yeah, we shot a video too. So our video editor Ethan, shout out to Ethan. He's
Ethan.
working on editing that. So
Hey,
yeah,
Ethan, you
so
want to
that'll
edit a
be coming out soon.
podcast?
Yeah.
I probably would.
Really would.
We can't afford it.
At least what?
That's why I
Yeah.
do it.
It'd be nice
work
if
for
we
free.
could, though.
One day we'll get there. No, that's great. So if they're not available when this episode airs, just make sure that you are keeping tabs on Epic Bait Molds.
Yep.
If they are available, then we'll leave a link in the description to that.
Yes.
To the
And
new
then-
product.
and
There's gonna be a
beyond
lot of
that-
links in this description.
Yeah. Beyond that, we have, he has like literally unlimited ideas. So, yes, we have lots we're working on. But those are things that are actually going to be released soon. And, we have some other really big ideas for the future. We've always wanted to do injectors. So that's something you could potentially see from us in the future. We need a lathe for that. We have that.
I publicly announced.
Oh my God. Not
No,
only does he have bait ideas, but he has product ideas. So right now he's obsessed with making pliers.
I didn't make these, but I
Yeah,
want to make
That's
the world.
design to make the world's best pliers.
Oh,
I
dude.
will. I will be one of your
I-
first customers. I
Epic
hate every pair of
pliers.
pliers I've ever
Every
bought.
plier, yes. They're all garbage and they all twist.
See? Yes. Yeah, like
I don't want
like
them to
they
twist.
they do that thing, like they offset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fix that.
And these are like my favorite. These Dankos are like my favorite. Like $70, and they still do it. But I will say what I love about these is they've been submerged in salt water and buried in the sand by my kids like 100 times, and they're still like smooth.
Still smooth.
I want-
yeah.
I want that smoothness with long-term, like never-ending durability and rebuildability and all that stuff. But anyways, that's a
Let's
future.
focus a little bit on Epic Bay Molds first. And people
Epic
Bait
pliers
Some
coming
point.
sometime.
Sometimes
Eventually. I like it. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Trevor, Anthony, do you have anything else you want to ask before we get to the trivia round?
Trevor, do you?
Trevor's the soft plastic. He does the
He's the
majority of
only
the soft
one.
plastics of us three. You've done it before, and you've been dabbling recently. I've seen it.
Me?
You've
I
got to
know
have a
that-
question for us. You've been quiet this whole time. Give us a. What do you want to know?
Was it a world record worm that happened this year?
Oh my goodness.
And
Do you have it there?
Oh yeah, we got 2 of them in here. The mold and everything.
Yeah. How much plastisol went into that? I missed those details if they were ever disclosed, but that's something that's been
Yeah.
burning back here.
I just saw a bait chucking video and he said it, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just under a gallon. It's like a cup or so under a gallon of plastisol. And it's about 7 pounds.
Do you know where the baker worm is?
Yeah, I feel like.
So
I feel like it would be
This is not
more.
the one that snapped and got.
Oh
Nate
my
and,
god, we got 3
and the
of them
jewels,
here.
right?
Oh,
no, that one's not the one that snapped into Nate's crotch. That was
that
yeah.
hurt me watching
That
it.
somehow though, I don't know why that was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I felt so bad, but
What
I
do you
also
mean
made
you
sure
don't
he
know
was.
why? It's
I
hilarious.
also made sure he was okay, but I was like, why is this so funny?
Wearing it like a boa.
Whoa, that one is
So
rainbow.
we had 16 people. Was it 16? I believe 16 people for this all at once.
Yeah.
So that's why you see so
Yeah, I
many
saw the
different
video.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at that Big Bay Maker meetup. We did that in the shop. It was really cool.
He's so heavy. We brought was it 5 of these die casts?
We traded them for some things. Like we traded the guys at Turtle Box for one. That was pretty cool.
A speaker, like a
Speaker.
speaker.
Yeah,
Nice.
we did give some guys that
Shout out
have
to
pretty good sized YouTube channels have them. So hopefully, yeah, 3 people. Yeah, so hopefully someone will catch something massive and put it up on the internet. But yeah,
That would be so insane.
I know it was really fun. Actually, it has like good action. I don't know if you've
does.
seen like our Instagram or Bait Checkin's Instagram. It actually swims really
Yeah.
good.
I did.
Yeah, I saw the swim. Yeah, it's got a great action
And-
to it for being 7 pounds and how many feet long?
Yeah. And we have that giant hook that our machinist Tim like hand forged at home. He like heated a rod up and bent it and kept it in shape. I don't know if it'll hold up to a fish.
It's 6
But-
foot
6.5 feet.
and a half, but when it's like stretched out, it's actually really longer
It's like
than
7 feet. Because
Yeah.
when you just
that. In the mold, it's 6.
in the mold, it's 6.5. But when you hold it up because it's so heavy, it's like 7 feet.
Yeah,
It's huge. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. It was fun to me.
I know that it's like, all right, what are we gonna do this year at ICA?
It's-
And it's a great accessory for you too, I must say. It
I know,
looks
we
great
walked
as
around.
as a necklace.
Because at ICAST, there's like happy hour that starts at a certain time every day. So we would throw this on and we'd walk around and like go talk to people and, you know,
Yeah, we had,
it's
like,
a
a-
conversation starter.
We had a bright pink one, a gold, like super gold glitter one. We had a bright purple sparkly one. What else we had? I made like that horrible brown one. I was making a YouTube video and I finished the video and I was like, I did the worst color on all of these for the video. I mean, like, it was so bad. I was like, dude, why?
And we gotta do something really cool with it, like bring it around the world, or I don't know, fish all different places with it.
We have such a fish on it.
You have to catch a fish up.
Yeah,
I
shark.
bet you could catch a
Fur,
gator.
yes, fur. I think we catch a what do you call it in Florida?
Goliath group.
Goliath grouper.
Oh, the Goliath groupers. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd eat that.
Yeah.
Those like 400 pounders.
They need that. Yeah, I
As a
mean,
snack for them.
hopefully we do. We need to. We have to. Something will be caught on one of them.
It needs to
Some
I'm
happen.
sure.
point. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it
does.
will.
All right. Any other questions, guys, before we move on?
What was like the most dramatic CNC accident without somebody being injured, but like crashing a machine or
Oh, I think there was one where a part flew out of the machine and Jason was standing in front of it, and luckily they're built so that they're
Plus they absorb
supposed to
impact.
absorb the impact, and Jason was standing right there, and it flies out at like, you know,
100 miles
you
an
can't
hour,
even
yeah.
think, and it shattered the glass and
Right in front of my face.
right in front of his face.
It was like 2.5-inch face build, just like ripping, and it ripped it out
Oh,
of the.
big. That's a big bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it just wham! Just glass flew all around me. It was very scary.
Yeah.
did you take
Very
the rest of the day off?
Oh no, I cleaned glass up,
No,
fixed it.
expensive to replace the damn glass.
Yeah, one window on those hospitals for one door, it was $600.
Yeah.
Because it's like 2 layers of, it's like glass with some kind of plastic over it so that it absorbs
It
impact.
worked though. It worked well.
Yeah, it did its job. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple crashes early on when like he literally didn't sleep for like 72 hours, and then
Yeah.
it would crash, and then it's because literally he couldn't think.
Yeah. They
Like
make me go take naps in the middle of the day, like in a hammock
I
outside.
mean, he wouldn't sleep. He worked. I can't even like 20-hour days, like all the time. There was a couple times where I literally made him like leave the house, like the shop. I was like, we need to like go to the beach or something, just so that you're not like in the shop.
Getting hurt.
Yeah.
They're dangerous,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of YouTube shorts of crashes where it's just like,
Yeah.
and it's just like shattered
Dude.
everywhere.
And it's like as soon as everyone's like safe, and I know everyone's safe, I'm like, okay, what happened? What's the damage? What are we replacing?
How many
How much?
$1,000?
But then I'll go get the quote, from Haas. And
Oof.
anyways, but yeah, we haven't had that many. I mean, we've been,
That's good.
yeah. And
That's
Tim,
good.
our machinist now, is like super diligent. And I don't think he's had any.
Yeah, he takes his time.
Yeah.
He really checks everything thoroughly. And
Yeah, and Jack's newer at machining. He has a little less experience. He's in high school still. He's super awesome. Wants to own his own machine shop one day. So we're kind of like teaching him, and he's awesome. I don't think he's had a crash.
he had one come out. I don't know if he even knows. After he left,
Yeah, he's gonna find out on the
Terminal
podcast.
popped the mold out of the fixture, and then I was like, "What is going on? Why this tool broke?" And I was like looking at it, and it was still sitting in the fixture, like it was clamped down. So I like took the tool out, changed it, touched off, hit go, snapped the next tool, and I was like, "What is going on?" And the whole part was just like moving around.
Well, that's not like a
It wasn't like
crash.
It was just like this broke tool, but it is a crash.
What holds them in? They're clamped from the side?
The molds, yeah, there's like there's a rail, like a stop on the back that's aluminum, and then there's like these little teeth kind of that when you tighten them, they bite into the front. So there's 4 teeth on the front. That's it.
It's a fixture like he designed specifically for our process.
Yeah. What allows us to do the 2 sides really efficiently, and they're adjustable for the variances in stock.
First we wouldn't show it, but then we did, and now we've seen it in the wild.
Yeah,
Other people
copy
have copied it, but that's okay.
It's inevitable. It's all right.
He's like,
Right on.
It's fine, honestly. I mean, yeah, cool.
Should have got that patent.
Yeah, I know. Right? Oh,
Patents aren't all that's cracked up to be. They're
they're a lot of work.
and a lot of money.
Yeah.
We do have a patent on the
Yeah.
Epic. We have a patent pending on the Epic internal system. That was an experience of its own. So
Yeah, I've looked into like
I've
patenting
one
baits
more
before,
question.
and there's no reason to, because they just say
Yeah,
no. Sorry, go ahead.
It's pointless for most of us. What about a like 9 or 10 inch? You said like musky baits with the internal harness you were thinking about doing?
Yeah.
Well, like a 9 or 10 inch swim bait
Yes.
with the lead inside?
Yes. That's where this is all heading towards. Musky stuff. Because those guys they're all at home making their own stuff, There's not a lot of companies making a ton of musky stuff. You have a few staple things, and then it's like a lot of at-home makers tinkering. So,
yeah, that stuff like it's good for big lingcod, big halibut.
yeah, those same
Yeah.
baits. Yeah, if you can change the weight inside and make them super heavy, they'll crush all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
cool. I'm
Yeah, I'm
excited
stoked.
for
yeah,
that.
coming
Coming
sometime.
eventually.
Actually, eventually.
That's the hardest
I
part.
like it's really hard to put timelines with the creative energy and kind of like we're so small business and
Running the
running the business
a lot.
is a lot. So
Well-
we generally don't put exact timelines on things. It makes it a lot less stressful, I think, for us. Like
Same.
At least
yeah.
you're open and honest about it and realistic, because I'll be like, I think I can do that in 2 weeks, and then 2.5 months later,
That would be
still
me
not there.
without her. Yeah. Me without her. 100 projects.
Genuinely think we can get it done in that amount of time whenever
Yeah.
we have the idea, right? Like it's definitely going to happen. No,
oh yeah, it's
no, it's
great
not.
intentions. The great intention is just like, well, we don't quite have time for that.
Yeah. The only person we're lying to is ourselves. Great. All right. Well, this is what we like to call the trivia round. We're carrying that over from season 1. Don't know really why we call it the trivia round, because there's no wrong answer. You're the only person that knows the answer is you, because we're asking you, some preferential questions.
Yeah.
But first question is, and you obviously both answer, so we'll get 2 answers this go around. What is your favorite lure of all time and why?
I have to choose a soft plastic and a hard bait, I feel like, because they're so
Go for it.
different for
Yeah.
me.
There are
So
no
if
rules.
Okay, so if I choose a soft plastic, it's kind of crazy, but we have a 1.375 inch stonefly. It's tiny, and it looks super realistic. I mean, so realistic. Like, I'll leave one out, and I'm like, oh, God, there's a bug on my... And then I'm like, oh, it's the stone. So I love them. Fish, love them. Even bass, like, 2-3 pound bass will eat this tiny little stonefly. You could trout fish with it. You could bluegill fish it. Bluegill can suck it the whole thing in because its legs fold in. I love that thing. And if I had to choose a hard bait, it would probably be the Daiwa SP Minnow. It's a big, I think it's 6 inches and like an ounce or something. That's more for, I throw that thing in the surf or like offshore or whatever. It's just a big jerk bait, basically, from saltwater. It only dives like 2-3 feet down. But there's something about fishing that. I mean, it's so heavy and big, it's just like bending your rod, and you feel that, and then when a fish hits, just like loads up, it just feels off.
Yeah, super popular in SoCal where we lived,
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah. But,
My favorite of our baits, or soft plastic wise in general, is the drop shot leech. I love that thing. Catches a lot of bass.
what about non-epic?
Non-epic, I would say probably the Z-Man Diesel Minnow.
Yeah, that thing's sweet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, had a lot of spotted bay bass out in Cali on that thing.
Man, saltwater fishing seems so much cooler.
It's fun, but we love freshwater too. I mean, we do both. We love both, but it's different. And like when you go out, so in San Diego, we fish from shore pretty much always. We went out like 1 or 2 times with a captain, but when you go out like offshore fishing, like we just went out in the Outer Banks like 2 months ago, and I really want to catch a wahoo. And the way you catch wahoo usually is you just troll.
Right?
So we were like
Around, yeah.
trolling for 4 hours like out of the day, and it can get boring for sure. Then like we pulled up on some patties, and usually mahi are under patties, so we ended up catching like a bunch of mahi, which was super fun. It's like an intermission. So I went back to trolling.
We all woke up and caught fish and
Yeah.
laid back down.
It depends on what you're going for, but I don't know. I love both. I love all fishing.
I just love the pursuit of fish. And I love, like, my favorite thing, because I like the stonefly, is it's ultralight fishing. Because you never know what you're going to catch. Like, it could be something big, it could be something super tiny, but it's always a crazy fight. And if you get a big fish, it's an even crazier fight. Like, you're pushing,
It's got multiple tuna on an ultralight rod.
No, not tuna. I used like a
On a
light
bass
bass rod and caught like this big tuna on it. It was so freaking awesome. I mean, that's with that big mahi. That was on a medium bass rod. That was on my Phoenix. Wow. But that's the inshore one. But it's still not a heavy rod. It's like a bass rod. It's not like a broomstick.
Yeah. The other thing, like if you go out on saltwater charters and stuff, it's like. So a lot of times they'll hook the fish for you, and I feel like that's not my fish. I'm like, I gotta hook the fish for it to be my fish.
Yeah.
It's still like super fun because then you're fighting it, whatever. But I don't know, it's just different. Like bass fishing and going on Lake Hartwell here is so fun. We got a pontoon boat instead of like a bass boat or something, so we could bring the family, and it's fun. Go out and hang out, catch fish. You could chill, swim. We swim.
Yeah. Lots of swimming. Lots of swimming. Even when the water's freezing, there's lots of swimming going on. Yeah. What are you guys' favorite, like, just one lure?
That's tough now. That's tough. Because I think originally whenever we did this in our first episode ever, I think it was just the 3 of us, and we talked about our favorite lures of all time. But that's been a long time ago, as it feels like. It was in May, I think. but
But
it feels
would
like
it
it's been
have-
a long time.
Yeah, would it have changed though? I mean, if it's your favorite lure,
I think
it's
it
hard.
has for me. For me specifically, I think it has.
Mine is the battle rat, wake bait. It's just
Yeah.
Trevor drew it. I designed it. We both collabed on it, and it's just such a fun and productive bait. And I've broken my PB on that thing like 3 times already. I feel
Damn.
like, and it's just an awesome, fun one-piece bait and a chatterbait. I love a chatterbait, but
Yeah.
wake bait.
Trevor, what is yours still the same from back in the day, or have you?
Yeah, mine would still be. I like a lipless crankbait or like a fluke. Like those are pure confidence baits for me, and I know I'm gonna catch something.
Yeah.
That is my favorite bait. Like I'll throw that every single trip at some point.
Yeah.
I know originally I said Texas rig ribbon tail worm. That was my
Really? Wow.
specifically with a dark body and a chartreuse tail. That was what I originally said, and I still have that tied on. Like I always have a Texas rig at hand if things get tough, because that's my comfort zone.
That's crazy.
This year I got into mini glides, and even I designed my own. I think the first one I bought from Trevor. It was one that he had, and I bought it from him and immediately caught fish on it. And I'm like, well, I've got to make one of these now. And so I designed my own and caught some very, very decent fish on it. Other people have caught some very decent fish on it. But I won't stay on that too long, because I talked pretty much the entirety of season 1 about developing this stupid bait. So, but it's outside of, if we're talking about what I've been fishing with most lately, that's kind of what it comes down to. That means I've been catching the most fish on it, because that's all I've been fishing with for the past several months. So, but the mini glides in general is something that has a big presence that you can throw on just a regular rod. Like you can have a medium heavy rod and it works just fine. You don't have to have a huge swim bait rod, because I have one of those, but it's not always convenient, and it's not always fun to throw after a while. After so many casts, it's like, geez, I did upper body today as far as the workout goes, but just having something smaller like that still has a big presence, still has that great action. Mini glides have really been speaking to me here lately, so I may be shifting. I still love my Texas ribbon tail worm though, which I'm glad to say you're in the process of designing a ribbon tail there. So.
Create a new version instead of copying all the ones out there. See,
I like it.
gotta have good tail action.
So a little twist.
Yeah.
All right, our next question here, and this is a fun one. This has become my favorite one. What is an interesting fact about each of you that your followers, people who only know you through social media, would never guess? And it can be fishing or non-fishing related.
I used to. I'm a drummer. I used to be like a drummer and a screamer in like a small like punk rock kind of metal band. I had a mohawk that's having the mohawk now because it brings me back. But I used to have a mohawk. It's actually like 6-7 inches long for several years. And we actually met. I had a mohawk, right?
That's what grabbed your attention, wasn't it?
No,
Oh,
it's
I didn't
no.
see it. He had a
Mohawk
beanie.
too.
He had a beanie on when I met him at the beach. So
Yeah.
then later that night, I had one.
Like this guy.
And you're like, oops.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What about you, Amanda? What's your fun fact?
I lived in Ireland. So before I met Jason, I was actually a nurse. I went to college for nursing, and then I was a nurse for 6 or 7 years. But I worked in Ireland. I helped build a network for blood cancer research.
Oh wow,
Wow. Jeez.
that's awesome. Like,
That's the mohawk to
do you
shame.
feel? Do you feel outshine? Yeah. Do you feel outshine now, Jason? Because
Yeah. She's just crushing it over there with her career, and then we met, and then she just dumped it, and just we did our thing. It's crazy, literally crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I went from that to
It's like
running a manufacturing business in the
Yeah.
fishing industry. It's,
It
But
is
it's
crazy
cool,
how
it's
life
fun.
works out.
yeah.
it is random and awesome.
definitely.
How do you guys think? What do you guys think the bait making community needs or wants, or how do you guys think, what could we all do, or we could do, or to grow the bait making community?
Well, I have an answer. It's a bit of a it's a selfish but selfless answer as well. We started this podcast, and kind of alluding to a comment that you made earlier, Amanda. We started this podcast because there's a lot of us out there that can help each other, that can lift each other up. It doesn't have to be a cutthroat competitive environment. Like, it doesn't have to be everybody against everybody else and every man for himself. It doesn't have to be that way. So we kind of started this podcast as a way to have a focal point for that community to come together. So that's what I would like to see, is just more of this happening, more people getting together, discussing ideas, discussing what they're working on, things like that, and making that public to where people might have, something they've been struggling with in their own process, that it's been troubling them for years, and they, watch an episode of the podcast, or they watch somebody else's video, and they're able to solve that problem that they've been facing for so long. And so I guess, just growing the network and the community in general, that's kind of why we started this, and why we're continually trying to grow it. And not that we're, trying to be the one-stop shop, but just more stuff like this happening is what I feel like the bait making community, specifically the small builders and small makers, like, I think that's what everybody can benefit from.
Yeah.
For me personally.
I agree. I agree with that. And also, you explained it very well. And also, like how you guys are doing the courses on your molds, and like some how-to videos, and even just in a video that might not be specifically about something, you might learn a little tip or trick in there, just it being more accessible to people and less like hush hush, like, what mold is that? Oh, I'm not going to tell you. And then, oh, I'm going to have to search to find what Addletail mold that is. Like, I don't know. That's just lame to me. It's way more fun to be like, I've been struggling with this for a week, and I know I have somebody to rely on. And same thing when they have an issue, they have somebody to rely on. And, I've never seen Jesse in person. Like, he might be fake and wearing a mask, but it's cool. We talk every day.
Could be AI.
I've seen Trevor in person multiple times, so I know he's real, and he's very tall. So, but like, it's just cool. Like, we just need to be more of a community rather than like, out for the money or thinking you got some secret sauce that nobody else has. Like, I don't know. Chances are it's probably been done already. Like, they did it in Japan or somewhere. Like, I don't know. Obviously, there's original ideas, and some stuff you want to keep, in your pocket until you're ready to release it. But I feel like the old school way was, don't tell people where you fish, don't tell people what you're using, don't, my buddy Randy down the road got this mold from out in Ohio. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody what bait it is. Like, that's like a thing of the past. Like, I feel like the DIY and just not even everyone having a small business, but just like people wanting to get into it is growing. Because like I do design work for like hard baits, and this year alone, I've probably had like 4 or 5 people who have never made a bait before, and they want to do like a custom bait. And I feel like that's not something that would have been done years ago. Like, there was no outlet for that. It was, you had to go on a forum and try to dig through the forum and try to find what resin to use or what micro balloon. Like, it's becoming way more accessible, which I think is cool.
Any additional thoughts, Trevor?
I concur with the two of you. We need less egos, more humility, and 6.5-foot worms.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Amen.
6.5-foot salamander.
Be an 8-footer.
8-foot
salamander?
salamander. Yes.
I mean, he has to come up with his idea for ICAST 2026, because we can't just go back there now and bring the same worm.
Not with a worm.
A 4-foot grub?
I want to do I want to do.
Like
Oh my
that.
god, crazy.
Yes. Yes. That's going to be a big aluminum blank for sure.
Yeah, the aluminum was not cheap for that thing.
No, that was
Yeah.
$400, right? Something like
Did
that.
it fit in the machine? The whole thing?
No, it made it.
How'd you get it connected?
I machined half of the mold. With
I
the
made
other
him machine it without anyone in the shop because I was like, we're not killing anyone to make
Yeah, because I had like half of the bar sticking out the side. I had doors open, sticking outside, and then I made a special thing to keep the coolant chips from flying out. And I machined half of it, machined a locating feature, put it all the way over, stuck out the other door, filled it with
Play-Doh?
kids Play-Doh, and then saran wrapped it in there so that the coolant wouldn't fill it and go out into the shop. And then I machined the other half using that locating feature, and it actually lined up like within a couple thousandths of an inch. It was crazy. That's how we made it. So I had a whole video on it. We just never put it out because
Yeah,
I
that's
got overwhelmed with stuff.
put it
But I had
out. I want to see that because I
know,
wondered
I
when I
haven't
saw
put
the
it,
mold.
yeah.
I'm like, how did he make that in one thing? I didn't
No, we-
realize
Yeah.
the sides of the machine open and you can push stuff
Yeah.
through it.
it was insane. It was 4 operations, about 4 hours of machine time for one mold.
Good footage on that. He filmed the whole process himself. Yeah.
Then I got overwhelmed with it. Then we actually went to iCast.
Is it edited?
No.
Because send it to Jesse. He'll edit it for you.
Oh yeah. He told us he has a lot of time to do
No,
that.
they have their own editor. They've got a good editor.
But he's busy. Send it to Jesse. He'll take care of
I
it.
do it because I have to. Not because I'm good at it, but because I have to. No. But no, you should totally get that cut together and
Yeah, that'd be
I'd
cool.
love to see that.
I know I will. And then I made a whole nother video that we never put out either, pouring it, the whole thing, like how to pour the world's largest worm. Because it's insane. You have to blowtorch the entire mold, so it's like 300
He just
degrees.
likes using
I do. I am obsessed with
He's
blowtorch.
like, should I show it in the video that I'm heating up the molds with the blow twitch? I'm like, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think everyone's gonna like use that tool.
Yeah. No, because I have a big one. It's like got a big nozzle and it shoots this.
It's
And I'm
a
like,
flamethrower.
Yeah, I'm like, can I use this? She's like, no.
I mean,
Come on, that's how I heat up a mold. I like literally roast
I'm
them.
like, but we're like actually teaching. It's not like,
Yeah, it's gonna be the
you-
kid who goes and burns his house down with a
Yeah.
flamethrower because
Yeah.
I showed him how to do it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
There's some liability issues there
Yeah.
probably, but that's okay.
Hey.
Just say don't try this at home.
That's
It's
true.
a DIY. It's a DIY tutorial, and you have a disclaimer that says don't
Yeah.
try this at home. That
We're
works,
in a
right?
Fashion studio here.
Well, it sounds like you just need a bigger machine, really, to where you don't have to.
more
So-
machines. That's always the answer.
I knew Jason
More
would not answer
machines.
that.
And
Yeah.
tool. I mean, do you guys see the Ryobi wall? I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like 100
As a-
Ryobi too.
As a Ryobi fan myself, I
Yeah.
appreciate.
I think the reason we moved here is because we're like 30 minutes from the Ryobi factory, by the way.
Distribution center.
Nice.
It's a million
Distribution
square feet. It's humongous. It's right off the highway here. They do like
You get the new releases.
well, they do quarterly sales where they bring all the stuff down in the basement or that parking garage, and it's like millions of things on sale. It's great. Pretty cool. Everyone is
I
Ryobi.
think
got
that's
me.
an accident when he pitched the idea of
Yeah.
this area to be.
Hey, Ryobi's there.
People like to trash on Ryobi, but it's never
I-
failed me.
It gets it done.
And I've done
It
some
really
dumb
does.
stuff with my Ryobi tools.
Yeah. Well, and you don't feel bad if they break because you're like, oh, it's like $50 drill, not a $300 Milwaukee drill. And I love Milwaukee, but I'm not going to spend for the amount of tools I have. It'd be like $30,000 in Milwaukee. It's probably like $7 in Ryobi. And maybe not even $7. I don't know.
It's like $8 in tools in Ryobi.
Yeah, it's
$8,000 in
$8.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
No, now you're talking Harbor Freight, all right? Which I'm also a Harbor
They're-
Freight fan. But
They're
I don't
not
care.
even cheap
like
anymore. So
$1.50 at Harbor Freight.
they piss me off. Harbor
Oh, they're-
Freight
they're
used to be
not
this
cheap
when you
anymore.
only had $10. You had $10. You go in, you get like a whole set of vice grips, every wrench. You're literally ready to be an auto mechanic with $10. And now you get like a flashlight and a bag of rags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
I
get
was
me
just
started
there.
on Harbor Freight.
That's
Oh
just not
yeah,
true.
I remember we went and looked at was it the tumblers or something, and I was like, that's so expensive for what it should be. Yeah.
We use Hercules brand drills on all our machines. We've had them for 4 years now, and every day doing so many bolts, like 50 to 100 volts a day on and off with the little slip clutch thing, and they're still going strong. So are the batteries. It's insane. So it's pretty good. I don't know.
Whatever. I'm not
Right
I'm not
over.
wearing it right now, but my favorite hat is a Harbor Freight hat I got for $7. So
My
Exactly.
gosh.
That's too much,
See?
dude.
Yeah, it should have been
$1.
free.
$7 for a
$1.
hat? You don't wear a lot of
at
hats, do
Harbor
you?
Freight.
Yeah,
No,
they're
but
like
still,
$30.
We'll send you guys
$1.
free hats.
Deal. But no, this has been great. Thank you both so much for
Yeah.
hanging out with us and for
Yeah.
walking us through, from front to back, everything that it is that puts together what is Epic Bait Molds. We definitely want to have you back on at some point in time if you're willing to come back, if we didn't scare you off in this first episode, in our first meeting. But
Oh, it was fun. Was this like two?
they're not immediately agreeing, so it's like,
Yeah.
No,
We'd love
I'm
to
joking,
come
I'm
back.
joking.
I was just ideas were flowing through my head. I was
no,
like,
I'm thinking about the drills.
what if we did the Baymakers meetup and then we could set you a little studio space or something. You guys could just like rapid fire episodes and then have,
Let's
and
do
meet
it.
a bunch of people and you
Maybe
could
some
get
live
some in the
stuff.
bank. You could get like a whole season at the Epic Baymakers meetup.
That's a good
I'm
idea.
in.
That's genius.
I'm in.
June?
That's what
figure
I
it
was
out.
thinking, but I
Said-
would love to come back sometime. We would love to come
Said
back
maybe
sometime.
May. Shoot for June.
Maybe May
Possibly.
through October is my range.
Oh
I
my!
don't know yet. I'm looking. It's because I want to use a different venue, and so I've been emailing venues, and then they're like, "Well, how many people?" And I'm like, "Well, I have no idea."
From 100 to 10,000, somewhere
Yeah,
in there. It's,
exactly.
yeah.
So I'm like, I have to really think like, if only a small amount of people come, is it suitable? And if a lot of people come, can they handle it?
Let's just do it at Fork Grove and let's just buy a couple of those humongous like circus tent things and put them up.
Yeah,
Not buy them, but rent them. You know what I mean? Out there like a clown, like
yeah.
hey guys.
Start a clown business on the side to pay for your massive tent that you bought for no.
Give them more ideas, Jesse.
I know. After this, it's flyers. That's it. Flyers and more flyers.
Right.
I'm excited
Flyers,
for that.
fishing.
fishing reels,
And a Lego bait.
I like
I
the
mean-
way.
Oh my god! I mean, brick bait.
No.
Yeah.
We'll
Is
come
there,
back. We'll
is-
come back sometime.
We'll definitely make
Thank
that
you.
happen. And yeah, I mean, we could do an on location string of episodes for sure.
Yeah.
We could swing it. Just let us know when you land on a date and we'll see what we can do. And we appreciate the invite. But is there anything else that our viewers and listeners should be on the lookout for from Epic Bait Molds
Yeah, like
that you haven't already talked
told
about? and spilled the beans
everything.
on?
no,
If
I
not,
mean,
that's okay. We've already talked about a lot. So
Got a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know. I want to get. I don't know. I don't want to spill all the
that's fine.
ideas because I
That's
don't.
fine.
If it doesn't happen for 6 months, I don't want someone else to do the idea. That's my problem. As soon as I say
fair.
it, you know what I mean?
we have ideas from like
It's like
planning another size of something all the way to like industry changing things. So there's a lot coming from us, and we're only getting started.
we're in a good,
Well.
good position.
We're almost
Next.
done with our sixth year, which is wild. And it's crazy because our son was 8 months old when we started this business. Our first son, we have two. And so it's kind of like,
Almost 7.
it kind of like, ages with him.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's crazy.
no, it's been great. I mean, I'd love to just say thanks to the community. And we've had so much support over the years. It's been incredible. And I love so much when I just get emails from people saying, like, thanks so much for this mold. I caught these fish, and they send the picture or whatever, it did for them. And just cool. Just really cool to be a part of it.
Mm. Well, you're definitely making an impact, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that rely heavily on your products to make their products. So from all of those, I mean, I feel like an imposter saying this, but from all those people, I'm sure they'd be okay with me saying thank you for what you do. We will leave links to the Epic Bait Molds website and social medias and YouTube channel down in the description below. So make sure you're following them to keep up on everything that is Epic and all of those things that we talked about that are eventually, right? They'll all happen. They'll all happen.
Sometime.
And that's, I understand that you have to be careful when you come on this podcast with what you say, because we do have dozens of listeners and viewers. So that information will spread
All it
quickly.
takes is one going to the other companies pitching the idea.
Yeah, all it takes is one. No, that's fair. That's fair. But thank you both again. We're not done with you yet, but we are going to kind of wrap up with a couple of other mini segments. It's tradition for us here at the Bait Boys podcast. After our guests talk about what they've been working on recently, we kind of go around and do a quick around the table. What are we working on? So, Trevor, what have you been up to here lately? A lot, from what I understand.
I've been working on my time machine.
Oh, yeah, it's your time machine.
Yeah.
Is it broken right now?
No, I had some issues where I would go into the future, interact, and it messed things up here when I came back. So just trying to get that squared away.
Space-time continuum stuff.
Yeah,
you wouldn't understand, Jesse.
You think time goes like this. It doesn't. It goes like this.
That's fair. I'm no meteorologist, so I don't understand.
That's true.
But how's the shop situation going? Do you have any?
The shop is excellent. This is, I'm gonna say, within the first 2 weeks of January, I'm gonna 100% open the doors to the world.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Trevor is opening. I'm sorry. You go ahead and say you tell him. It's your story.
I'm opening. All right. Opened. It's open. It's legit. I just don't have people here yet. Garage made bait shop. Like no big companies, only small builders, garage style, soft plastics, hard baits. But I want the little guy to shine. Like,
yeah,
that's the goal.
Super.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anthony, what about you, buddy? What are you working on?
What am I working on tonight? In general, dude, we haven't talked in like 2 months on here. I don't know.
I know, right? It feels like it's been forever.
I released a jerkbait mold. I'm working on a craw, and then just running 3D printers all day when I'm home and working.
How many are you up to now?
9.
Next month, yeah.
I have 4 Elegoo Saturn Ultra.
That's great.
Dude, it's late here.
Yeah.
Saturn Ultra. Yeah, they're the Saturn Ultra. I don't know. I have a Jupiter.
They're in the same time
Jupiter
zone as you, by
SE.
the way.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to look. Anycubic Cobra 3 Max, 2 Anycubic Cobra 3s, Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. And the resin printers are in another room because they're dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's got quite the farm going.
Yeah. We
but
just
they're
have
so cheap.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They're like $400.
Yeah, compared to a Haas CNC, they're
yeah. Like they're a pain in the ass to use, but $400 it pays for itself in like 2 projects.
That's true. We have the bamboo X1 carbon with the little EMS on it, and it's like so awesome. I'm not printing molds on it, but I am printing boxes for Christmas presents with little bows and locks and stuff.
I'm like, shoot, I don't have a gift card box for this gift card.
Hold on.
And he's like, wait a second.
I got you.
I'm like, sweet. And they're cool.
It's functional.
Like I didn't have somewhere to put my headphones. Like,
yeah, see?
Yeah.
like I could go on Amazon and wait a day. I was like, oh, I'll just print this. I have like my we have this whole wall is just reptiles. My wife ordered the small cups for the gecko, like the dishes. So they didn't fit in the ledge that it went in. So I was like, all right, I sat down for 2 minutes, designed the little, it's just a little thing that they can sit in. So it's just 2 circles. And I printed them, and then I could feed the geckos again because we had the wrong size cups.
Boom.
3D printers just
Instant
amaze
hero.
me because, like, right? She was like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, taking videos of him running upstairs, and I'm like, look what I did. She's like, oh, thanks.
No, as like a creator, it allows you to just like do the stuff and just like print it. It's insane.
And even if you're not going to use it for a production, like, capacity, it could shave off like weeks of testing something. Just print something that's a throwaway piece of garbage, but you just want to test like the action of a tail or something, whatever the case may be. But yeah.
I'll do that for like
Definitely.
sizing of a bait versus like I have a hook in mind or something. I'll print out the bait. Like if we're like with Nate, if we're designing something that he's only sketched, sometimes I'll get my model done or my rough model, and then I'll just like print it to make ssure it lines up with like a 4/0 beast hook, and then I'll print it with like a slot so I can actually put the hook up through the body, and I'll hold it up, and I'll be like, oh, this is perfect. Because otherwise, you go through all the trouble of programming the machine and all that, and 50 hours later, and then it's like, oh, it's too small. I got to tweak everything. So it's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
They're
awesome.
nice to have.
Yeah.
They're nice to have. I've got just a little Saturn, like an old Saturn, not Saturn, Mars 3, just a little tiny resin printer, but I use that thing all the time.
That's awesome. Dang,
But,
I need a resin.
I
I
don't
can
think-
3D print.
No?
He does everything the old school way.
We're working on him. We're working on him. He'll get there
Uh,
eventually. I'm
Maybe.
confident.
But isn't it crazy that like how many years ago that was just like you literally needed to be a company that had like some serious cash
Yeah.
flow. Now you're like some guy in your basement and have 9 3D printers because you saved up some money. Like
Have a
every
problem.
time, yeah. Well, I mean, not really. I had 3
No,
of them
it's at
running
least-
today.
Yeah. No,
That's pretty awesome.
You put them to work. You put them to work.
But yeah, it's cool. That's what I say. It's like it's evolving very much to DIY type industry rather than
Yeah.
just like the big names.
Awesome.
What have I been working on recently? This podcast. That's been most of it. I did release the Probe Mini Glide a couple of months ago. Had a couple of drops on that, and they both did very, very well. I've got another one coming, hopefully, right after the first of the year. Just partnered with the Little River Lure Lady, Zena, who's been on here before. She just painted a batch of them for me. She does an amazing job, and those will be going up on the website soon. And then, I mean, I guess now is as good a time as any to spill the beans. The Probe is doing great. And so the next step of the invasion is going to be coming sometime in spring of 2026. That's what I'll say at this point. So if you know, you know, and pretty excited about that. Getting ready to print some stuff. We'll just leave it at that for now. But great.
Hey,
All right. Well, we've been going for a little over 2 hours now, so it's time to
Yeah.
wrap things up. If everybody doesn't mind, I know it's late where you all are. It's not early where I'm at, and I'm an hour behind you. So we're gonna wrap things up as we always have, and probably always will, with our question of the week. If you have a question that you would like answered on a future episode by the Bait Boys and whoever their guest is, leave it down in the comments below or DM it to us at Bait Boys Podcast on Instagram. This week's question. I did not put the name in my notes, so I'll just put it up on the screen right here as far as who this question came from. I'm rusty. I forgot to do it. I
You've
copied the
been
question.
doing good all night.
Not the name. Well, I had to. Nobody's perfect. So, yeah. The question of the week from this person is, if you had to run your boat through 10 thick spider webs and fish underneath a mad hornet's nest to catch your PB, would you do it? And as
How many
always, we'll let
spider
our
webs?
guests 10, no
10,
less than
okay.
10, double digits, spider webs, and a mad hornet's nest to catch your PB. Would you do it? And well, as always, we'll let our guests go first. Amanda, Jason, would you go through all that to catch your next
No.
PB?
there's no way. I would be like, that's it. I'm busting out the little ultralight, and I'm gonna catch these little bluegill right over here where it's safe. Because I hate spiders and I hate spider webs. And here in South Carolina, we have those friggin' what are those giant yellow ones like this big, and they make these webs. Like if it like all through our forest, the trees are within 5 feet. They make this web that is like super strong. And I walked into one of those one day, and it like. I was like flailing, like freaking, because the spider's always in there. Sometimes there's like 3 or 4 of them, and I was freaking out. There's no way.
You're talking about the big black and yellow ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those we have those in Missouri too. They're garden
They're-
spiders, and they're
like
absolutely
in a-
100% harmless.
Well, but still, they just are like,
They're big and the webs are big.
They are creepy looking. I will admit that they
So-
look much scarier than they.
so there's
They
no
are.
way I would drive through like even 2 of those.
Of all critters or creatures in the world, spiders are Jason's least favorite thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
My wife is the same way. She can't even see them on
Oh my God.
a movie. She without covering her face.
Like, is that a
Yeah.
real one? My God.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
that is
five of them
crazy.
here. This is Brownie.
Just picked him up. I'd be like so scared to touch it.
Anthony, we want them to come back.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind so much the spiders or the spider webs, but I don't think I'd want to get stung by that many hornets to catch a fish.
That's crazy. Do they have, like, are you worried about that thing biting you? Sending it?
It's very concerned for you.
No, you know what's annoying? They throw their hair.
They throw
Oh,
it?
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. And it gets stuck in your
Yeah.
pores and irritates them. Yeah.
They
use
can
their
shoot
back
it?
legs. They use their back legs and they kick hair. Not all tarantulas, but some of them. These ones do. And then it gets in your skin, and then you're like, feels like needles. I mean, this thing, if it bit me, it wouldn't do anything.
Except for bite you, it'd be like, I'd be like, burn the house down.
I'm dying.
Oh my God, dude, that's crazy.
So obviously the spider webs may not be an issue for Anthony, but what about
Jason's
the
like
hornets?
sweating over here.
Sorry about that. Next time,
It's
I
all
will
right.
not take the tarantulas out. I'll get a bearded dragon.
There you go.
They say face your fears. We'll have to come visit you and help to hold it. That's how you get over them, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
do
hold
it.
all 5 of them.
Same
That's
type
the
of fear factor.
Fear factor. It would be for you.
I would do it. Just cause. Sounds like a good story for later.
My gosh.
That's fair. That's fair. Trevor, what about you? 10 massive spider webs and a mad hornet's nest.
All right,
to
you want
catch
the
your
truth?
PB.
Absolutely. I haven't broke my PB in about 4 years. My largemouth PB. I'm itching. I've come within like a tenth of an ounce. Like, come on, bro. Like countless times. Countless. But I will say this. I'm going to modify my fishing rod with some hairspray and a Bic. I'm down.
So you're making a flamethrower before you go in.
I like that.
Smart.
That wasn't, we weren't told we couldn't, right?
No,
Okay.
That's fair.
there was no rules.
No, there
I
are,
didn't think
there
of
are, in
that.
fact, no rules. Well, flamethrowers aside, if I couldn't carry a flamethrower, the spider webs really wouldn't. It's I don't like getting spider webs on me, but it's also not like a deal breaker. But has anybody here ever been stung by a hornet?
Several times.
Okay.
Probably.
That's not bad for me. I'd be like,
Okay, so for me, I got stung once by a hornet, but I got stung in the back of the head,
Huh?
and
Terrible.
that was some of the worst pain I think I've ever felt in my life.
eh.
But you
And
gotta
I've
ask
I've
them.
injured every major joint in my body and broken a few bones and completely dislocated my ankle. So
What the heck?
I played football for 9 years and then
Okay.
did MMA for 2.5.
It's like, what are you
so,
doing
yeah.
over there?
Yeah, all of that was before I was 20.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no wonder I have
Maybe.
trouble walking now. But out of all the that hornet sting ranked right up there with all
That's
that pain.
Great.
I'm like I if there is mention of a hornet's, I'm like with hornets like you are, Jason, with spiders. Like
Yeah.
I will not, absolutely not go near a hornet's nest because of that one experience, and I don't want that. Like one was bad enough. I would die if a swarm got after me. Quite literally. I'm not allergic to them. It was, man, it sucked. But yeah.
Probably.
So no fish is worth that to me. Unless it was like a world record. If it was a world, like if I knew I was going to catch a world record, I might take a few stings for that, maybe. But on a regular, just to break my PB, no. But that was all great answers. And that was your question of the week. It's
So
good to be
Trev and
back.
Anthony are gonna get their PB.
Yeah, they're going after it.
Do
They're going
anything.
after it. I'm out.
Right.
But that was your question of the week. Once again, if you'd like to leave us a question to answer in a future episode, leave it down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And hey, you know that little arrow that points, well, I guess if you're looking, it points this way. That's the share button. And what that does will allow you to share this episode with all of those you hold dear. Your auntie, your mama, your grandmama, your Uncle Steve. All of them would love to see this episode.
Can't stand Uncle Steve.
Leave Steve alone. It was one time. It was one Thanksgiving. He didn't ruin all of them, okay? But yeah, we'd really appreciate it if you'd share and definitely subscribe. And I want to one more time thank our wonderful guests, Amanda and Jason from Epic Bait Molds, for spending this evening with us. This has been one of my favorite episodes to date, and I can't wait to have you all back and maybe, collaborate on some things later.
Yeah.
Possibly, if you're up for it. But yeah, thank you both so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
But that is all for now. I would like to thank Bit Baits for sponsoring season 2 of the Bait Boys podcast, as well as our episode sponsor for episode 1 of season 2, Specialty Resin and Chemical. Don't forget to click the link in the description below and use our code Bait Boys at checkout to save yourself 10%. And follow Jason and Amanda at Epic Bait Molds. We'll have all their stuff down there as well. Don't forget to enter the giveaway from Epic Bait Molds, a $300 gift card to the Epic Bait Molds online store. And did I miss anything? Have we covered it all? Have I thanked everybody?
They have to comment about your beard.
And you have
that
to,
in my
you have to
notes.
comment. You have to comment something. It can be about my beard, but trust me, nobody's roasted my beard harder than I do myself. So that's all for now. Thank you all so much for sticking through with us to the end. And as always, once again, we'll see you next time.
Bait Boys Podcast, that's all we got. This episode is over, but there's always the next. Before you leave, like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment below. It'll keep us alive. Thanks for making us your choice. It's all for now with the Bait Boys.
Peak.
We are so back.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
you, guys.